operated radio station. Thanks for doing that. It's always important to support local. We try to as well. And on that note, I've got something for you today that's uplifting and awesome and affirmation of something I already knew and that we've expressed before, but it does the heart good to be able to express it again. I'll tell you what that is in a moment. Also, if you're watching on Warchant TV, thanks for doing that. That too is local. Really, it's the World Wide Web, but you understand on YouTube there, that Warchant, local company, and we appreciate that. It's for supporting warchant.com as well. So all the things. Tom, welcome back to your familiar chair. I know you had a great vacation. We talked earlier. It's good to have you back from Ireland, which is one of the great places on earth. I imagine, I hope, I know that you're probably a little pooped, a little tired. But hopefully you're rested enough to get back after it, buddy.
We'll go with 60% energy, but plenty for the show today.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow I think I'll be normal. If I end on a little bit of a high note every once in a while, I apologize.
Yeah.
The cadence, you pick it up over enough conversations over a Guinness. So forgive me, everybody, if I sound a little strange on the timing and the cadence today.
It wouldn't take long for you to have that be your natural course of talking.
Totally.
One time I was there in Ireland for 10 days, almost 11 days. And I noticed it when I got back. I caught myself and I was like, yeah, get it together, Cameron. But yeah,
you're at Gordo's. You're like,
yeah.
I'll have a Budweiser. Like, a what?
Yeah.
I'll have a Budweiser. It's easy.
You just get into the rhythm of that talking point. Yes.
What is your lunch special today?
Yeah.
Whoa. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that. Right. Well, welcome back. It's good to have you back on board. You know, one thing that happens whenever I go on vacation or you go on vacation or we're both on vacation at the same time, whatever it might be, it always makes me happy that this is the case. And the day that it doesn't will be the day that I retire at this juncture. And that is that, you know, no matter what time of year it is, and we are in what most would consider to be the doldrums of sports talk radio. Sports is not boring right now. There's a lot going on. Obviously, last night was the NBA draft, the ongoing World Cup. We just wrapped up the College World Series. Oklahoma won. Obviously, I was happy about that. If we can't win, I want Oklahoma to win. But, you know, we just had the U.S. Open. There's been a lot going on. We got the NHL draft coming up, all these different things. But this, generally speaking, as we inch ever closer to All-Star Weekend in Major League Baseball, is that kind of, you know, dead time. And yet, no matter what, I mean, this is always when we take the most of our vacation days, because once football starts, there's no days off unless you're sick or whatever. But I still get eager to get back in here and talk sports, talk about whatever we're going to talk about, talk to our listeners, with our listeners, to hear and interact with them. Hello, everybody in the chat, to get folks back after. I love it. I love it. I'm once again energized after taking some days.
For me, there's, I'm sure, an element of, well, what happened while I was away that I missed on the local side?
Not much, buddy.
But I also kept tabs on a lot of things. I mean, you know, my head is spinning once again of college sports and college football and some of the rules the NCAA has instituted and some of the things they're talking about, following Ross Dellinger or Pete Nakos in short and saying, oh, my God, all right, they're really going for it here.
Well, the 5-year thing is a good thing.
It is. It's going to be challenged, and we'll see where we go. I don't know that you can cap an age limit on something without there being collective bargaining.
Hope you can.
They're going to try. They're going to try as they might. Or things like the World Cup. I mean, we're playing in a meaningless soccer game tomorrow night because we already won the group.
That's
crazy.
Handily, buddy.
Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it from a pub in Waterford.
Yeah.
The U.S. take on Australia. It was 8 o'clock local time. It was perfect.
Yeah, so it's been busy, but it's about to get a whole lot busier. As I sit here today, and, you know, I pulled it up again today. I understand it's still a good distance off, but you're 65 days, 22 hours, and 49 minutes away from the start of college football. That's pretty amazing. And when you think about it, given the date, you know, where we're at right now, June 24th, right? June 24th? I think that's correct.
That is correct.
When we're sitting here next week, we are in the month of July.
Hey, we're basically in July.
Well, but I mean, next week we are in July, period. You don't have to fantasize about being in football month. You will be in football month, meaning Florida State football begins to practice in the month of July.
I mean, a week from today is Canada Day. which is a humongous day for free agency in the NHL. It's a big July 1's a big day, but you're not far off in terms of the weeks.
Right.
We get right to camp. It should be around the end of the month. I looked this up the last couple of years. 31 days before Florida State's first game has been the first practice of camp. So when they played in Dublin on the 24th of August, we started July 24. When we played last year on August 29th against Alabama, we started July 29. This year's game was once again on the 29th of August. So we're probably looking at July 29, and the ACC kickoff is right in between.
Which you weren't here yesterday. I told the lads on Seminole Headlines.
You declined.
No, I signed up.
Whoa. Okay, so that would be why your voice went low.
Yeah.
Like, damn it.
Yeah, I signed up. I'm in, and I got back. I should probably check my email more than once every couple of days.
Were you approved?
Yeah, I was approved.
Okay.
I saw that yesterday, but then I'm looking at the follow-up approval for Radio Row. You get the initial approval, like,
right.
Hey, you're allowed to be here.
And then
You
there's
have
the
a
Radio
press
Row
pass.
people. Yeah.
Boy, those Radio Row people are like, well, we'll see, buddy.
Is that what they said?
No.
Okay.
That's their general attitude.
They have been like that before.
Over the years, they're very much like, well, so you think you want to be on Radio Row? I'm like, man, you're the ACC. You need me a hell of a lot more than I need you. I promise you. I've been doing this for 27 years. I've been at the ACC kickoff for a lot of those years, and you need me more than I need you. I promise you. That sounds arrogant. Don't care. But they flip it. They're like, oh, who are you to want Radio Row? The guy that's been there 15 years in a row on Radio Row. That who? Go ahead. Just check yes and let's move it along.
Boy, took your time with this decision, didn't you? Oh, yeah. Like the spot got filled. All right, pal.
Yeah. So but
folks based out of Berkeley lining up to take a spot in North Carolina
they
at
can't
Radio
wait
Row.
to fly in, huh? But yeah, I'll be there. I'm going to go, and I'm going to assume that they'll approve Radio Row. If they don't, I'll just use our other devices that we have and record the interview standing on the side of Radio Row.
Exactly. Get somebody in a hallway. They'll give you 10 minutes.
Yeah, so I'll make it work.
All righty. So JC versus Norvell, 2026. Will it be the last time they speak to one another in the current roles that they hold?
It's not versus anything. I don't know. Mike and I have gotten along swimmingly
Title fight
in our years together, and he's very professional. Somebody asked me that on a radio interview, like, are you critical? I'm like, how could I not be critical? Do you think I'm a shill? How would I be on the air if I weren't critical of a guy that just went 5-7 and 2-10?
You'd be on the Legends Radio Network. That's how you'd be on the radio.
Well, they're getting tossed as well.
I thought that was just
that's the beginning of the end for Legends, buddy. I'm sure.
All right.
As it should have always been, but that's a different time.
Then you'd be IMG
story.
or whatever. That would be how you'd land up. That's how you got fired from Orwell. Asked not to return to IMG.
Yes, I was asked not to. Well, it wasn't IMG at the time. It was, I think, Host Communications. But
okay.
Yes, they did not need me hosting the statewide Florida State pregame show after I said the offensive line coach was doing a terrible job. And the reason that we don't win big games against other good teams is our offensive line stinks and he should be fired. That is not something they wanted to hear on the FSU pregame show that I hosted alongside the late Monk Bonasort. And Monk knew I was done dealing the second I said it and was like, buddy, I hope you didn't want to do this long term.
That's what he said.
Yeah, pretty much.
I hope this wasn't a long-term part of your plan.
Well, at that time I was on the radio, obviously, and he was like, I'm glad you got the radio gig because they're not going to, he goes, I promise you they're not going to bring you back after that. We went to commercial break. And he was just like, damn. He actually did the palm to his head, like, because he likes me. He had hired me to do play-by-play for the Tallahassee Thunder, the indoor football team. So we worked together. I was friends with Monk right up to the day he died. And I don't want to make it sound like it was something that it wasn't. We weren't dear friends. We didn't go hang out. But he and I got along well and had each other's number and talked regularly. And, yeah, he was like, damn it, dude. I really like working with you. You're fun. You're good at this. And they're going to fire you. Like, that's just, you can't say that. I'm like, I can't not say it, Monk. It's probably best I go my other way. I can't not say it. Yeah, I mean, damn it. And we're still saying it about our offensive line, although I really like Herb Hand. It's just that he's been failed by a recruiting philosophy, which is asinine. It's going to be the end of Mike Norvell.
You've had about 4 or 5 years in the last 20 and I might be stretching to 5, where you say one of the prides of this football team
is the offensive line.
Is the offensive line. Yeah.
It's funny. In 2013, I didn't think the offensive line got enough credit because they were so loaded everywhere else.
Well, because they were thin. We didn't want to say anything about the offensive line because you're like, nobody move.
Yeah,
nobody
those 5 needed to stay healthy. They weren't too deep on that offensive line. But they were so damn good, and you had an elite quarterback with elite receivers and elite running backs and an elite defense, and all these guys were quite literally, all of them were NFL people. So it's like you couldn't just zero in on how good a job the offensive line was doing because everybody else just was a superstar.
Yeah, and 14 was better once they made the move for the Miami game with Big Rod at left tackle.
Yeah, and he was sensational, the whole thing.
They could have run for 900 yards on Oregon if we didn't fumble the ball.
Yeah, we didn't cough it up. That was a stellar time in which they recruited grown-ass men and developed them and had an offensive line worth talking about. But it really has been few and far between. I imagine, and I've said this before, I imagine that fans all over the country in football-centric towns that care deeply, passionately, the way that Florida State fans do about their football program, criticize their offensive line. It's the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the position, too. If you get beat and the other side's on scholarship, too, and you're trying to block guys that are trying to get to the league, and they are forces of nature because defensive ends are some of the best athletes, if not the best athletes on a football field. And so trying to stop them for the entirety of a game is very difficult. You might shut them down in pass pro on 99% of the plays. But if you give up a critical sack on 3rd and 7 and it leads to a strip sack or a scoop and score or an interception because the quarterback was under pressure, it's all anybody remembers about the day. Well, we were fine until Bain got home on that 3rd and 7. Bain's a top 15 draft pick, my man. I mean, he kind of doesn't suck. But that's the way offensive linemen are viewed. And, I get that part of it, but we have not been a plus group up front in a long time, on again, off again. They were sufficient last year. They were slightly above average last year. To us, that looks like dominance. But dominance when you see it. When you watch some of the best offensive lines that Georgia has had in the past, or you see what Alabama has had in the past. There have been offensive lines at Oklahoma where I go, oof, that's different. We've seen Michigan the year they won it. I know they cheated the whole deal, but their offensive line was stellar.
Jimbo had 1 or 2 at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Where you go, whoa, man.
That's different.
How are they only doing this much with that offensive line?
Because they ran 30 plays a game.
That's right.
But that honestly, when you see it, you know it. But it has to be – that Miami offensive line last year was exceptional.
They were.
But in every one of those situations, if you go and look at those offensive lines – it stands out to you if you go back and read head coach interviews. They prioritize it. They all prioritize it. The ones that we can name and talk about, there's 2 things that happen. One, they downright insist to their assistant coaches, you're going to recruit, and we're going to recruit offensive linemen, and we are going to have a group up front that we can move the ball behind. And we're going to give ourselves a fighting chance to win games where if we have to convert on 3rd and long, we got a shot at it because they can protect the passer. We're going to be able to run the ball. So if we're on the road and it's windy and rainy and we're dealing with crowd noise, we can hunker down under center and run the football and give ourselves a chance to control the ball. They prioritize it. But the other thing that it does, and I say it all the time when we have this conversation, this is why you want a nasty, edgy, downright borderline dirty offensive line because of the mentality that it brings to your football team. What it is a way of, and to me, announcing your presence with authority. We are this kind of a team. You're going to have to deal with this all day. Those late shoves towards the end of the play, at the end of the whistle, my guy driving you into the bench if he gets leverage, finishing blocks. You watch guys when they finish blocks 4 and 5 yards downfield, and you're like, that's football. That's what we're going to do. You could beat us. You may be able to overcome that, but that's who we are. And, man, if you think about the teams that play that way, a lot of times they'll defeat an opponent in the first half because they'll decide on that particular day they don't want any part of that. They just don't want to be there. It was like when we were on the wrong end of it against Boston College that night. Jimbo, who later said they didn't quit. I mean, you just could tell we don't want any of this. We don't want to deal with this tonight. Last year's Florida game, we don't want any part of this. And the thing of it is, no matter Florida's record, go back and look at the draft. Look at how many players they got taken. Look at their offensive line. Look at the running back. Look at who they were. Once they figured out we were soft. Come on, buddy. We're gonna do this all day long. I'll give this guy 28 times. I don't care. If you're not gonna step up and make a play, you're not gonna bow your neck and make a play. So it's just what you wish from day one he had decided to do. And it's one of the first questions I'm asking any candidate that is a head coaching candidate that we bring in next is, I'm kind of want to know what your philosophy is. And it kind of needs to start with him saying something about the line of scrimmage, something about the offensive line. We'll worry about all the other stuff later. Are we going to get it right in the trenches? Because damn it, I'm tired of it. It's difficult. What we do now as fans and what we do in terms of following the program, analyzing the program, giving our opinions about the program, we get things right, we get things wrong, and everything in between. There's a lot of gray area. But what we're always doing, unfortunately, is sitting around hoping that it's at least marginal or average. Like, okay, is this offensive line serviceable? Not marginal, serviceable. Is it? Okay, well, now we got a chance. I mean, we'll lose the games against the really good teams on our schedule because having an average offensive line won't get it done. But at least you'll give yourself a chance to win the other ones. But when you're substandard, you can lose to anybody. We've seen that. We've watched that. And I worry that's a little bit of what's going to be second string on the defensive line this year. It's funny, though. I will say this. This is not a dour, sad, crestfallen approach to talking about this team 65 days out. I actually woke up invigorated, excited about football. My mindset is starting to shift. I'm starting to get into that football headspace. I can sense it. It was weird. I woke up thinking about football. That's kind of strange, like to be in late June, but I did. I started thinking a lot about football in the last couple of days. I think being home from my own little vacation, going down to my grandmother's birthday and that whole situation. But I came back and something switched. I was like, I'm ready to start talking about football. I'm ready to start thinking about football. Maybe it's because I went ahead and signed up for the ACC kickoff, and I'll be up there in a couple weeks.
Also, when they detach themselves from the conversation, if I'm talking Florida State as a program, and you are constantly berated with numbers, or you say them out loud because of the job.
Right.
And you see things like what Pick Six Previews put out on Twitter today, which is, they're 7-17 in the last 24 Power 4 games.
It's not good.
Worst run in 50 years. So you're talking about a 50-year event. You thought perhaps 2-10 was a once-in-a-lifetime event, and that we could put all those things to bed about multi-generation lows. And you see those things, and they perpetuate. And the football program doesn't give you a whole lot to celebrate about, except they'll throw out a graphic that says the Deuce Robinson's the fourth best receiver in the football in the EA Sports game. Like, all right, that's what you're going to give me? It makes you, in a weird way, yearn all the more for the games themselves, just because you want to get the taste out of your mouth. This has been a bitter taste in our mouths since the morning of the selection show in 2023. It's nearly 3 consecutive years of being in pain. And we would like to know that perhaps with the new guard that's coming in to this particular penitentiary, and he's in charge of my cell, maybe this guy won't be so rough. Maybe he'll be a little nicer to me. Maybe he'll give me one extra spoonful of food. Like, we're in jail here, man. And so you want the games to occur because that's closer to the end of your sentence.
Or not. I mean, he could win enough games to stick around, and then you're kind of in limbo still. I don't look at the season starting as a cure-all to the situation at Florida State, but I do agree with you that it will provide more answers. I thought we were going to get those answers last year after another sub-500 season. I was wrong.
Yeah, me too. I said I wanted the fog to clear, and the fog did clear, and they said, we still want to see more. Like, well, the sun's in the sky. We know it's blue.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the picture.
No, they did. They made
no, I think if you look at it this way, we're not sure yet.
No, they made a choice. There's no doubt they made a choice, and we disapproved of it, and we've been very vocal about that. I think the fan base disapproved of the choice too, and they're feeling the wrath of that now. And, there's nothing you can do now. You can't undo it. I mean, the choice was made, and that's why you're sitting here in June, and a lot of people are beginning to slowly turn the corner towards thinking about football. And when they do, they're only going to get angrier. We got to take a break here, but I will just say that I think in the coming weeks, the frustration, which has been somewhat dormant, other than when we talk about it on the air, we're immersed in it. But I sense that the fan base has rightfully taken some time away from Florida State football, and they've spent it with their family on vacations, or they've gone to the beach, or whatever they're doing, and they've needed to for their mental health. But they're about to come back. They're about to come back because it's not just me waking up, kind of out of a dream state thinking about football. Quite literally, as we said to start the show, we're very close to July. July begins football practice at Florida State. July ushers in the ACC kickoff, which again means, because of the event that it is, you're going to get headlines across platforms, across everywhere, regarding Florida State football, college football. It's going to conjure up those feelings of anger, frustration. It's going to, it'll disturb the dust that has settled over the last several months. It's going to be like, oh yeah, that's right, we got to clean. This is filthy around here. We haven't done anything.
I think, the energy of get on with it is there. All right, boys, get on with it. And then you're marking. I'm using all of these seasons as tools for the future. That if we're ever falling in the future, like, let me check my notes, as Jimbo once said. Let me go back to 24, 25, 26.
I remember going, no.
Right. Well, there's a quote. Like if you ever had a coach in the future say, I got to check my notes on that one, you'd be like, yeah that wasn't right then, and that's not right now. That's what I'm doing. Here we are in this era of Florida State. Like, okay, remember what the messaging was. Remember the way that they would deflect and change the eye level of the hitter, and maybe in 10 years or hopefully 30 years down the line, after we have a 29-year run
of Ohio State-like dominance.
Oh, yeah, where people are in Columbus saying, will they ever be bad in my lifetime? That you can refer back to now.
One can dream, buddy.
And you could say, I can call you. You'll be long retired. And I'll say, hey, buddy, you remember the last time times were really lean? Like Depression era for Florida State level of lean?
We were on the air, Tom, is what I'll say.
And I'll say, yeah. Does this quote from the head coach ring any bells to you? Like, that's what this next month and a half is like for me.
I am curious the messaging once we get up there. More on that in a bit. Shannon Young kicking ass. Got another text over the weekend. Another buyer, another listener, somebody on the Jeff Cameron Show posse family calling Shannon after hearing a couple of years worth of me vouching for Shannon and the job that he does for those that are out in the market searching for a new home, wanting that loan, the best loan options to buy said home. Shannon has done that, man. This guy, by the way, will be at every game. I can promise you that. He goes to the road games to watch us lose. This is a warrior for the Noles, and he is for you too if you're in the home buying market and looking for the best possible loans. 7 different states, Florida, Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, Texas, and the Carolinas. The strongest and fastest response and support for your quest to buy that dream home. Loansfornoles.com. Loansfornoles.com.
In this beautiful North Florida climate until a mosquito attack begins.
Paul's Termite and Pest Control can help you take your yard back. We have an affordable program to help keep mosquitoes away, and our program even helps with other pests like ticks.
Mosquitoes are a nuisance to you, and by carrying diseases such as heartworms, they can be harmful to your pets.
Learn more about how Paul's can help protect you, your family, and your pets from mosquitoes. For the elimination of termites, pests like mosquitoes,
and a greener lawn too,
call Paul's. We'll get them all.
Do you want to take your yard back by having a green and pest-free lawn?
At Paul's, we understand the unique needs of your North Florida lawn, which is why we developed a program to address those concerns.
Our treatment program includes inspection, treatment, and education on best practices for optimized results for remaining environmentally conscious. An added benefit is that our lawn treatment is flea suppression, so having a greener lawn can help protect your pets too. For a greener lawn and the elimination of fleas too,
Call Paul's. We'll get them all.
Dive into summer fun at Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas. Get 15% off endless pool swim spas. Plus, enjoy free delivery while supplies last. Endless pools are perfect for swimming, exercising, or relaxing right in your backyard. Enjoy year-round fun with customizable features and the peace of mind that comes with a quality product. Visit TallahasseeHotSpring.com today and make a splash with Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas.
This is Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage. You've probably heard the saying, marry the house, date the rate. Here's what that means. If you love the home, do not wait on the perfect interest rate. You can always refinance later, and I can help you plan for that from day one. In fact, a lot of homeowners I worked with last year are refinancing right now and saving hundreds each month. Others are using the equity in their homes to invest, buying second homes or rental properties that are already building wealth. So whether you're looking to lower your monthly payment, get cash out, or start an investment portfolio, let's talk strategy. I'll walk you through your options and find the smartest financial move for where you are right now. You can find me at loansfornoles.com. That's loansfornoles.com. You can reach me at 954-369-6171. That's 954-369-6171. I'm Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage, and I want to help give you the keys to your next opportunity.
Hi, this is Gary Parsons with Cafe de Martin, and we're thrilled that we're back open for lunch from 11 to 3. And we're now serving dinner on Sunday nights, too. And let's be honest, finding a great dining spot in Tallahassee on a Sunday night isn't easy. But it is easy with Cafe de Martin, open Tuesday through Sunday with live music on the weekends. Come see us at Cafe de Martin and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for other special events.
Barry knows cool, he's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool, you can put him to the test.
Warmer temperatures mean more strain on your heating and air system. Time to call Barano Heating and Air and get a full checkup on your HVAC system to keep it healthy through the summer months. Barano Heating and Air, any day, anytime, anywhere. Get details at baranoac.com.
Barry Heating and Air Conditioning.
License easy, 1-816-186.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
So the last time you and I talked on the air together and before your vacation and, we had fresh content, I said, we talked about it because it was in the news at the time, of course. It's since been wrapped up, that look, guys, you do understand there are no guarantees. In fact, I'd be surprised if there was a supplemental draft. And I gave the dates and the years in which there haven't been people taken or there weren't any supplemental drafts or the last time somebody was taken. The NFL doesn't like the supplemental draft. They don't want to do it. And I posited at the time, I'd be very surprised if they had one for Sorsby. Why would Roger Goodell want to welcome that into his league? It's the cardinal sin. You don't want to welcome that into your league. And so I kind of wondered aloud when we did that broadcast, I wonder if they'll even have one. Everybody's assuming they will, but I'm not so sure. Why would you do it? And I even said at that time, unless there were others that might be involved in a supplemental draft, meaning something changed about their eligibility after the season, after the draft, then I really don't know why you would do it, why you would open it up to him. And I think what you're seeing post all of the initial reactions is that nobody wants to touch that dude with a 10-foot pole. He's going to end up in the UFL or the CFL, which if I were one of those two leagues, I would absolutely sign him. you'll get more attention for either one of those two leagues than you ever would with any other player. I mean, you have a chance to bring him in. People might actually tune in. Nobody's watching the UFL. I shouldn't say nobody. There's a very small percentage of people that are football fans that watch the UFL. So that would probably double the first time he starts a game. And if you're him, you're not going to have a choice. That's where you're going to have to go. You're going to have to go to one of those places, and you're going to have to go and play well, and you're going to have to wear it for as long as they need you to wear it, because you're a cancer. Nobody wants to take somebody who has had that many bets on football, on their own team, in general. They just don't want to bring that into the locker room. They don't want to bring that, especially if there are no guarantees that you're even that good. And, we talked about all the things you can do and still play. You can be a heinous human being. We've seen terrible human beings come and go in the league, just as we've seen outstanding people, of course. It's no different than, any walk of life in any business. But people, just like in your own workplace, there are certain rules that are a little bit more sacrosanct than others, and you understand what they are. Like, you can't do this here. You can't steal from your own company and expect to be employed by that company. Could you get a DUI and still have a job? You could. Could you, say something inappropriate to a customer and still keep your job? Yeah, you probably could. Depends on what it is. And on and on, the various transgressions you can commit and still keep your job. But there are others where you go, that's a line in the sand, not going to work, you're going to have to go. That's the one in football or sports in general. That's the one. And we knew it. And so I thought it would be odd if the NFL decided to have, for that guy, a special draft. I get it. It's been a part of the NFL for a long time that you have a supplemental draft. Again, they don't do it every year. It's not often utilized. We gave you the dates on all of that. But I remember thinking, well, if you're the NFL and you sit down and you start talking, like, why would we want to do this? Another thing to note, they'll go and bend over backwards for guys that you think, oh, man, don't go to bat for that guy. But typically it's a guy that's in the league. And what does that mean? He's part of the union. Sorsby's not. He's not part of the union. Nobody's going to war for a dude who's not part of the union. He's not one of them. He doesn't have to be one of them. The league doesn't have to make him one of them.
He's going to need maybe to do what go way outside the box, because you know me, I'll be aggressive from a PR standpoint, and I'll try to find a way. I tried to find a way for him. He could be the front man for.
Yes,
you have a problem.
Did try to find a way with DraftKings. You were going to have him.
I would say, all right, we are now going to the Chuck McGill plan here. We are living in a home without electricity. We are living in a home without a phone. If you really want this money, you're going to need to go Chuck McGill, and you're going to have to be a hermit, detached from
people who don't know. That's Better Call Saul. Go ahead.
And it's a guy who he's afraid of electricity.
Well, it's an amazing character, but anyhow.
It is. Yes. Don't tell me, Jimmy. It's
yeah.
He's going to have to do that for about a year. There's going to be a 60-minute special or HBO Real Sports special or whatever. They used to be outside the lines. Many of these places are gone now. But you're going to have that special. It's like, well, what has it been like living for a year without electricity? Oh, I found a lot of peace. It's very quiet.
I read by daylight, slept by night.
It has helped me heal inside as a human being. And then, once he recovers and he has a year or two, and that's when the payday comes, and perhaps they'll take a chance on you at that point.
It'll be interesting. I don't know. I'm not so sure we ever see him. I mean, odds are we will. Odds are, I suppose we will. I'm not willing to go to war or die on that hill, as they say. I'm not so sure. And I said from the beginning, this isn't going to fly. The people who countered after Texas Tech filed the injunction and they got the local judge and all that, I remember thinking, well, that's step one. Let's see where this goes. I have a feeling it's going to get really ugly, because most programs and most leagues are going to go, nope, can't do it.
Well, now he's trying to sue the NFL, right? So
his lawyer says they're going to sue the NFL.
Well, that's the end of that. I mean, you've totally obliterated any position you can take, be it my plan or otherwise. Why would you attack them?
He hasn't had very intelligent representation.
No. Well, neither did Texas Tech. Maybe it's the same guy.
Yeah, well, he's really, look, his only path is to go UFL. I mean, or CFL. That's it. This is sad. I should know this. Does the Arena League still exist? They still play arena football?
I don't know that they do. I know that they shuttered the Storm for a second time, the Tampa Bay Storm.
I used to flip around and you'd see it on your TV, and that's how I knew it existed. But I don't remember. I haven't seen it in a long time.
No, I feel
guys in the chat, are they playing in the UFL?
Yeah, C Blunt. Maybe you know.
C Blunt, you know what?
He said in the chat he's a sicko for the UFL. Like, he watches UFL. God love you.
Golly.
Because I remember NFL Network had it for a little bit where they would air Arena League
Chuck,
games.
you are a warrior watching the Columbus team, man. That is something. But I listen.
What do you think the Columbus team name is in the UFL? I don't know either. So let's take some guesses. What do you think?
Blue Bombers.
I'll go with Roughnecks. Let's see.
That sounds like an NASL team. Yeah, but David, thank you.
They are the Aviators.
Oh,
is their
okay.
name.
Blue Bombers was pretty close.
Actually, that's a credit. You get more than half credit there.
Thank you very, very much. Anyhow, I look. He's going to have to go play in the UFL, and Chuck will see him, and he'll have to report back how well Sorsby plays.
The other thing is, if he was a stud, like a true number one overall, I think that there would be a different discussion here. He might have been a first round pick. But if he went through the season at Texas Tech, like he might have been a first-round draft pick.
Some people, other people who argue that he was never going to be that. But
we see weird quarterbacks taken at 22.
Yeah, I'm not saying 30. He wouldn't have been. I'm saying there are people who would go, no.
But there is a sliding scale of how good you are to how much they'll tolerate you. I mean, that's
except for this one thing: you can stab somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You can beat somebody half to death on film. You can speed while hopped up on goofballs, run over somebody by accident, get exonerated for whatever reason, and go on and play. You can do a lot of things that we all kind of raise an eyebrow at and go, man, I don't know that you want to house an individual who was guilty of this, this, and this.
Arena League was relaunched in 2024 as a 7-on-7 league. It is on Vice Television between like police live shows.
Danny says he saw an Arena Football League highlight of James Blackman throwing a touchdown. That's awesome. Is that what he's doing?
Yep. Good for him. That poor guy. He deserves happiness in life.
God, remember the chalk outline? Was that against Clemson?
Well, I remember Jimbo saying there's something special about this guy.
Well,
wait till you see. Like,
the great,
why?
Yeah.
You moron.
Well, and I'll just say the great man. I never understood how a guy who quite clearly understood football to a degree that we could only dream of understanding, and both the history and the strategy of football, whose forte was, in fact, looking at a player in high school and projecting what they could be, both physically and positionally. Jimbo was an elite recruiter. He was a very good evaluator. His track record in those two areas were exemplary. And yet, when it went to go, down the road, off the tracks, when things began to fall apart, it just kind of shows you that if things aren't right in your life, and I'm not judging here, I'm just talking about obviously things had begun to mount in his life that made it difficult for him to do his job. It clouds the vision of even those who see the clearest. It was remarkable because think of the deadbeat, sorry-ass quarterbacks he brought in here in the back half of his time and the things he said about those players and what he thought they would be. And it wasn't just quarterbacks. There were other players he said these things about. And we would go, well, I'm going to assume he's right. He's been right about this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. He projects well. He develops well. He recruits well. Knows what he's looking at. Been a quarterback whisperer his whole career. I'm going to assume he knows what he's looking at. And yet, if you think of the litany of guys that he brought in here that you're like, what the hell were you talking about?
Right.
I mean, it's stunning. It just shows you that when things are a cluttered mess in your life, away from the job, it can affect the job, even as it pertains to just laying your eyes on a product. It's amazing.
Well, that's where if you're Randy Sanders or Dawsey or whoever, hey, you might believe that, but let's not say it. All right. Because I don't know that I do, but that's not important whether you're right or
yeah.
The pressure is now squarely on this kid. There are expectations. When you say this, they look at a quote about E.J. Manuel or Jameis Winston, like, oh, this guy's going to be good. And if he's not, coach, then they're going to hate him. And there's no reason for them to hate the kid. He's being pressed into action through no fault of his own. Why are we putting this kid under the spotlight? That's not fair to him. Say to the press, boy, this is an unfair situation, but I know he's got a lot of heart, and he's going to be easy to root for, and y'all are going to love him. There you go.
JCS PR firm's proud of that one. Prevent leaks before they start. Many large roof issues could have been avoided by fixing small leaks and defects before they worsen. Fix the minor issues to prevent the major ones. You do it with my friends at T-Spark Enterprises, 850-766-1340. They serve the North Florida and South Georgia area. T-Spark Enterprises. If you want a guaranteed win, tsparkconstruction.com. That's tsparkconstruction.com, or give them a call, 850-766-1340.
Local news now.
More than 80 pets were adopted from the Tallahassee Animal Service Center over the weekend as part of a statewide adoption blitz.
Look at these two bad boys. This right here, this is the Harry's Plus razor. I love it. It's weighty. This is a much lighter version of Harry's. It's the regular Harry's. They're both awesome. I use both. In fact, let me tell you something. Look at that. Those are Harry's blades. They didn't send them to me. No, they didn't. I went and bought these yesterday because I love Harry's, and I only shave with Harry's. There's a litany of things they want me to say or to talk about, but I think the best way and most effective way for me to tell you how great Harry's is to tell you I use all of these Harry's products on the regular. Hell, I even use the Harry's facial lubricant because it's so effective. Love me some Harry's blades. The Harry's Plus is where it's at, though. Very heavy, very, very effective. Man, do you feel clean after a Harry's shave. It's unbelievable. Harry's Plus is Harry's heaviest razor handle ever, made from metal, never plastic, designed to fit comfortably in your hand. It's true. I'm just telling you, it's true. Here's the deal. For a limited time, our listeners can get the Harry's Plus trial set for only $10 at harrys.com/warchant. This set includes the all-new Harry's Plus razor, one refined 5-blade cartridge, a 2-ounce foaming shave gel that I use, and a travel cover to protect your blades on the go, like the one I just showed you. Just head to harrys.com/warchant to claim this offer, and after your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that I sent you. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Hey, Jeff, what's up, buddy?
I was just thinking, they never tell you that when you grow up, one of the things that you'll miss are the games that you created with your friends in the neighborhood.
Oh, good days.
So I would have my buddy come over, and then we'd make up these games that were kind of like a hodgepodge of every game that you've ever played.
Kind of like the bikes we built.
Correct. Yes. And it's a grand experiment. In the beginning, nobody knows how to play the game, and you argue about what the rules are going to be. And in the end, everybody knows how to play the game. By the end of that summer, you know the rules, the neighborhood know the rules, and you play that game like it's the greatest game ever played.
And they still try to break the rules, right?
Oh, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But at the end, Eddie, you're never going to play it again, and you'll think about it the rest of your life.
And the best game you ever played was that game.
Never been a better one.
Hey, you want to have a Gordo Smash, Jeff?
I do. I'd like that. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
So, yeah, we're really turning to the video game for our inspiration. I just checked the chats during the break sometime, and I see that, I guess that, well, I mean, it's not like they're devoid of good players. Florida State has a few good players. Deuce Robinson being chief amongst them, I would assume he's the one that is rated so highly.
Yeah, we put out a graphic, and by we, I mean the football program did, that celebrating that he's the number 4 wide receiver in the game. And that, if you're on YouTube right now, you can see that graphic. So
it's a good graphic, so, it is what it is.
I don't know. I guess we're in a place where we need to celebrate being number 4 in something. That would have been my retort to the social media thing. I would have just put the overall grade. You don't need to put number 4 in nothing. Just put 92 overall. Kids know what that means. They'll get behind 92 overall. Number 4 wide receiver in the game. Let's not.
I don't know, man. I don't know anymore. I'm out of touch when it comes to what you need to be posting on social media and what you don't. There's a whole methodology, and anybody coming up in this era would know it greater than I would. So I would assume the kids at the university have a handle on.
Well, look, I'm not trying to say that I know better than a 19-year-old about what's relevant to a 19-year-old. I'm just saying, okay, you want to do an EA graphic, a CFB 27 graphic, 92 OVR. Done. There we go.
I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is, like, it doesn't even occur to me to run to social media about an effing video game. I mean, it's just insane. But, right, I would be missing an opportunity, I suppose, to paint a less dire situation at Florida State, and they need to latch on to anything that doesn't paint them in a negative light right now, because they get it every direction of the college football stratosphere.
You also wouldn't respect yourself very much if the way that you thought of the world was, oh, hey, you know what? We need to make a social media post about that.
Correct.
You would not look in the mirror and be proud.
No,
because that's not the way you're wired.
No, it's not. No, and I'm not who they're looking for, and so that's what happens. Yeah, my agent gets mad at me. He's like, "Man, you never post anymore anything at all." I'm like, "Yeah, I hate it." He's like, "Yeah, but you got kids going to college. You hate it that much?" I'm like, "Yeah, they'll survive."
For the show page, the song of the day was good back in the day. I always enjoyed that. Song of the day.
Yeah, I forgot I did that.
Yeah, you did that for a couple years.
I can do it again if you'd like. But, because, I'm still immersed. And
that's the one place you can express yourself musically. Certainly can't be here.
Yeah, that is correct. And that sucks. I loved that aspect of the show. The bumper was fun, and I knew that there were a lot of people who, even if they didn't share my taste in certain genres, would be, "Oh, I like that. What was that the other day?" They would reach out and say, "Oh, well, that was such and such."
Did you ever ask to do like a Jeff's Hour here on the station?
They said yes. I just never did it. And
you did?
Yeah, I could do something. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
It would be cool. I could do that. Yeah.
Pick Saturday morning, like 10 a.m., something like that.
Yeah, I'm not rolling in here live on a Saturday morning. It would have to be.
You would tape it, you track it, but that's like chores time. Saturday morning's a great time to do a little 1 hour.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
Plus, I mean, how much is that for voice tracking?
It's not a lot.
4 minutes?
Well, right. Well, we've had fun at FMDJ's expense for some time now.
Because I'm on the radio too. Are you?
Are you? Yeah.
Are you really?
Oh, buddy. I know this. We are set for the next several days because what's it, like 6 games a day? They're simultaneous in some cases for the World Cup, and I've loved it. So I've got that to fall back on. We've got, again, the golf this week coming up. I like the Travelers. Nobody can say anything to me about the Travelers. I like it.
I know.
I love the Travelers.
This is the one that creeps me out.
I love the Travelers. What's wrong with you? The Travelers is for real.
This is a creepy one. This is like an M. Night Shyamalan thriller. All those houses on the hills. I'm like, man, there's weird stuff going down in those neighborhoods. I do not like it. or like Get Out, the movie Get Out. I'm like, this is where it would take place in this Cromwell, Connecticut.
It would have just been taking place up in Shinnecock is where it would have taken place.
Nobody could get out there.
Yeah.
It's too far.
But no, listen, I like the track is all I'm saying. The track is awesome. And you have Scheffler, Schauffele, Fleetwood, Aber, Young, Fitzpatrick, Cantlay, Henley, Thomas, Burns, Morikawa. It's a loaded field.
It often provides a great finish, too.
It does. It's a loaded field. It's a fun tournament, and I bet it. I've also won a lot of money at this tournament.
Boy, poor Daniel Berger got wronged in this tournament years ago by Jordan Spieth. It's the famous chip in from the bunker.
Back when both were good.
Jordan hit the tree off the tee. He hit the tree, 50 yards in front of the tee box.
I've done that before, not at the Travelers, but I've done that before.
It was either on the 72nd hole or the playoff hole in which he lost. I forget which time it was, but Jordan completely bleeped the bed, and he got out of it with a par after hitting the tree off of the tee box. Poor Daniel.
That'll hurt your feelings. I need Daniel to he was on a upwardly mobile track there for a while that is wobbling.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not going so well. By the way, Miles making the cut at the U.S. Open is insane.
Yes, it was. Especially because he went out in the worst quadrant.
He got the worst of
days.
the waves.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He made the cut
early
at
Thursday.
17 years old.
Yep. On the table.
On that track where people could not I mean, you watched some really good golfers out here throwing up 84s.
Specifically if they went out early Thursday, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it flipped on its head, versus the expectation in the weather report.
But think about that. Imagine just being like, there's no guarantee. We don't know what he's going to become. We've seen people make the cut as juniors and, amateurs before, and they go on to do nothing. You never hear of them again. I don't think that's going to be the case with that kid. That is something to behold, to watch. And it's just nothing to him. You look at him, it's just the demeanor.
And then that tournament went to bed for about 3 days, and it got good at the very end. But it was a bit of a snoozer.
It was poor coverage, too, as usual. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Faster than you can say, was that a rock, a bird, or a banana? We'll help you with your claim. We offer mobile service, and we promise zero judgment, no matter how that crack got there. Just go to SeminoleAutoglass.com or give us a call at 850-539-4527. 850-539-4527.
Duct tape is not a long-term solution.
Better call Seminole.
Games for Less, Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used games, as well as new and used consoles like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Atari 2600, PS4, and PS5. You name it. Locally owned and operated since 1994, trade-ins are not only welcome, but Games for Less pays more for your trade-ins than the big chain stores. That's not all. Games for Less now buys and sells new and used vinyl records to boot. George loves the Beatles, by the way. Reserve all the new releases today at Games for Less, conveniently located in the Walmart Supercenter Plaza on Appalachian Parkway.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, T-SparkConstruction.com. We conquer all peaks, we fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, T-SparkConstruction.com.
License number CCC 1331204.
Florida man, what'd you do to yourself this time?
Disney World. Me and Hank, my emotional sport alligator, we did it all.
Please tell me you weren't swimming in the Seven Seas Lagoon again.
Well, not this time. We rode the monorail to the Magic Kingdom, hit Space Mountain, crushed some turkey legs, and we washed it down with a couple of Dole Whips. And the best part, the Country Bear Jamboree.
Sounds like a great day so far. What happened?
Well, we're running late, and I'm sprinting to the front row of the show, and it starts, and the music's playing, and crowds are clapping. I got carried away. I got this bright idea. I'm going to stage dive to Hank. I jumped, Hank tried to catch me, and pop, my back went out midair.
Well, I'm glad you came, because Dr. Finn's going to get you fixed right up.
Well, next time, we're sitting in the back row.
You don't have to do a Disney stage dive to get back pain, neck pain, headaches, or numbness in your arms and legs. Come see us at Fenn Chiropractic for exceptional care to help your body heal itself the right way. Book your appointment online today at fennchiro.com. That's FENNCHIRO.com.
Love to compete on the dartboard? Then it's time to head to the CP. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill is Tallahassee's premier dart bar, featuring steel tip boards and soft tip internet play. The Corner Pocket hosts leagues and tournaments regularly. Just check out their social media to find a time that works for you. And in between games, grab a pint and a bite in the cool AC, or enjoy yourself outside on the deck. Whether you want to catch a game or start one of your own, the place to be is the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachian Park.
Sports Flash update on Real Talk 93.3 in Tallahassee.
Tampa Bay Rays baseball, they're struggling a bit right now. They lose to Kansas City by a 12-5 score on Tuesday night. Tampa native Jack Caglione continues his good run for Kansas City as he hit 2 home runs and drove in 3 on the mound for the Rays. Shane McClanahan, he gives up 6 runs over 6 innings, although the 6 runs, 4 were unearned. The Rays dropped to 3 games behind the Yankees as the Yankees did get a win yesterday. Series continues today. Griffin Jack's on the mound. He is 2-5. The Miami Marlins, they beat the Rangers yesterday by a 6-4 score. Sandy Alcantara now has the most strikeouts in club history. He pitches and gets the win. He's 8-4. Series continues today. Yuri Perez on the mound for the Marlins. This Sports Flash is presented by Progressive. Bundle auto and home, renters, or condo insurance and save with Progressive. I'm Matt Pauley on Real Talk 93.3.
At Liberty Mutual, we love helping people with things like customizing car insurance, just like how we customize the song for you. Catered country tune. Liberty Mutual, saving you bucks by protecting your truck. Cause Birdie told me to only pay for what I need. Thank you, Limu. Always trust in Limu with Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Where is the best place to find Michelin, Firestone, Dunlop, Goodyear, and Bridgestone tires? Nice Tire and Auto Service. Where's the best full-service auto center? Nice Tire and Auto Service. They do everything from computerized alignments to brakes, tune-ups, and safety inspections. Where can you get complete auto service you can trust? That's easy. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
Enjoy summer in the car JD Power ranked tops in reliability, the 2026 Nissan Sentra SV. Motor Week said it's the best looking sedan in its price range at $397 per month with just $2,000 down. Yep, only $397 a month, only at Craft Nissan Tallahassee.
Injured? Call attorneys who care. Facing Brooks. Offices, Tallahassee.
Your business depends on technology every single day. But when your systems slow down, your business slows down with them. That's where I2X Solutions comes in. From legal to financial firms to healthcare, nonprofits, and professional services, I2X Solutions helps organizations stay secure, connected, and productive with technology solutions tailored to their exact needs. Need proactive cybersecurity, cloud migration support? Visit i2xsolutions.com or call 692-3796 now and learn how I2X Solutions can protect your business, power your success.
Pay-per-view fights can ring up big bills, especially since in the Octagon, there is one every few weeks. That's why the Seventh Hill Tap Room right downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill carries every single fight. Plus, unlike most pay-per-view bars, there's no cover charge. And drink specials, too, like $3 select domestic beers and more. And if you enjoy international soccer, Seventh Hill opens early. $2 mimosas on Sundays, anyone? The Seventh Hill Tap Room, 2475 Appalachia Parkway.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You are supporting Tallahassee's only locally owned and operated radio station. Thank you for doing it. If you're watching on Warchant TV, hello to you. Thanks for doing that. Good to have you on board. How's your summer going? Doing all right? Everybody okay? What you laughing about, buddy?
It's a very nice question to ask somebody. How's your summer going?
How's your summer going? Where are you headed? You and the family taking a trip?
Those are much better questions than how's work? And so how's your summer going? They can go any which way they want. That's actually a very good icebreaker.
They can take it anywhere they want. You could get the guy that decides to take it literally, thinking you really care how their summer's going, And then they get into, well, me and Margaret are having some problems. Like, oh man, I really did. I asked how your summer was going.
How your summer's going?
Plans, not your personal. No,
that's activities, man. I'm asking you about activities, either the ones you just had or the ones you're looking forward to. We are not talking about interrelational issues here.
I have a question for you because I saw a response to Dusty May taking his talents, if you will, to the NBA and taking over the Dallas Mavericks. I'm not going to ask you about how you think he's going to do with the Dallas Mavericks because you don't care. You haven't watched an NBA game in some time,
That's right.
Whatever it might be. But I do wonder, I saw a Michigan fan was upset and I went, no. You've got that wrong, sir. You've got that wrong. If Luke Laux wins the national championship next year in Tallahassee and then announces not too long after that he's going to the NBA to coach the Sacramento Kings or whatever, I'm not going to be like, well, damn it, Luke. I'm going to be like, you badass. I'll always love you. Good luck and go Kings. I mean, I'm not going to be mad at Luke Laux if he leaves. There's a difference. You can be disappointed. You can be disappointed that Luke Laux, after having won the national championship at Florida State, decided after 2 short years to take it on down the road to pursue a dream in the NBA. But you can't be mad. I saw Michigan fans, some, were mad at Dusty May for going to the NBA. First of all, I think most coaches in almost all college sports these days, if they get the chance, are going to leave for the pros. Given the way the construct of the way the leagues are now, the way college sports is now, I think that they're kind of, I'm going to take it to the league where we have guaranteed contracts and I have to worry about stuff I can build, and not have to re-recruit my roster every year and et cetera. Because it's a headache. Now, again, this is along the same lines as something I said the other day. Boo-hoo. If you're making $10 million, it's unbecoming to bitch about the climate, the system, recruiting, the rules, lack thereof. I don't want nobody. We're allowed to do it. I can do it. The fans can do it. To some degree, even players and administrators can do it. As a coach, you can't do it. Shut up. That's the system. Go to work. Put your head down and go to work. You're paid buku bucks. Nobody wants to hear from you, even if it's a fair-minded complaint, even if it's an angst-ridden frustration to the surface of a conversation that is on the record. Nobody wants to hear it. Not from a guy making $10 million, $8 million, $6 million, $5 million. That's what the money's for. That's what the money's for. To deal with the headache, to deal with the stress, to deal with all the things that comes with the pressure of being a big-time college coach of any kind. But that said, you wouldn't be mad, would you, if Luke Laux won? Dusty May just won the national championship for Michigan. Won the whole kit and caboodle. Got there, promptly whooped ass, won the national title, and said, peace, I'm out, deuces.
Yeah, sad and mad are different words for a reason. I would be sad, but not mad. Because I would be greedy.
You would want, yes.
You could build the next dynasty right here. If you already could do that with these resources, think of what is possible now. Because you're going to get real dollars behind you. And you've got the reputation. So I would start to get greedy, and then you'd see the announcement by Shams or whoever that he took the NBA gig, and you'd be like, oh, well, now I'm sad. Is Fly going to succeed you? Leave me a capo. We must have a lieutenant here.
Yeah, give me somebody who is acquainted with the system that we had in place.
I'm not going to say a pox on your family. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I would hope not. I saw some of that. I was just kind of like, guys, that doesn't seem to be the right response. I mean, in Michigan basketball lore, and certainly they've had more success in basketball than Florida State has, so it is a little bit different animal. But you bring your talents to the school, you coach them up, and you got us to a national title. Unless you're a horrible human being who's, put a stain on the university, I am going to hold you in pretty high regard. You're going to be high on the totem pole of Florida State greats if you come in here and win a national title for us. And if you take it on down the road a little sooner than I would have liked, them's the breaks. That's what happens when you're successful. I'll tell you what. Flip it. Mike goes out and loses to SMU. Writing's already on the wall. Now it's cemented, right? We know the likelihood of bouncing back from a loss to SMU and turning around and somehow getting a road win against Alabama to offset said loss is highly unlikely.
We'd have to sit on that for a bye week leading up to the trip to Bama.
Yeah.
Where that SMU game is larger than I thought.
Very, very important game. And it's winnable. So that's another reason it's important. But that said, you let's say he loses that game and you're like, it's starting now, guys. Now it's happening. And then you go and you do what we figure we're going to do, which is get your head kicked in by Alabama on the road. And then now you really know, okay, they settle on a name, whomever that is, right? We bring him in. We're like, woohoo, it's Larry Smith. He's going to be great. So Larry Smith comes in here and year 1 wins 10 games. Year 2 wins the national championship. Larry gets a call from the Dallas Cowboys, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, whomever, and says, I've always dreamt of coaching in the NFL. I'm going to take the job. It's been real. Thanks, Florida State. You're not going to hate Larry. You're going to love Larry. Larry is a savior.
He is.
Thank you, Larry.
Larry, if it doesn't work out for you, just know.
Open arms.
There's a home
Larry, you're always coming back, baby. Tears in your eyes.
And you might say that if you were the athletic director at the introductory press conference for Larry Smith's news.
Now,
Larry,
yeah,
I'm looking into the camera right now, Larry. It's very difficult what you just did. And
Yeah.
I believe in John.
Yeah. John, you got a shot at it.
That's right. But Larry, if you do want to come back,
but Larry,
we did put a provision in John's contract.
Yeah.
That we can walk away scot-free.
Yeah.
So you just think about that, Larry. Okay.
Yeah.
Woo, Larry.
If you get up there and it's not what you dreamt of, Florida State's still home.
Yeah.
Larry, we've got a complimentary Loge box for your family here for life, by the way, Larry.
Comfortably. Wasn't he handsome? All right. So,
Everybody's
the
like,
man of the hour, John.
John, tell us how you're going to
Come
continue
on.
Larry's great vision.
Forgive me for sweating a little bit, John.
Yeah.
That's not about you. It's about Larry.
John, tell us how you can continue Larry's legacy. John's like, well, I've got my own plan. No. How are you going to continue what Larry was able to do here?
That's right.
That's why we brought you in.
I'm sorry. Did this turn into a Q&A with my boss?
So, yeah, man, I don't get that. I wouldn't be mad at Dusty May if I were a Michigan fan. I'd be like, well, I'm going to wear my national championship shirt to class today while I think about the greatness of Dusty May and how it was that he guided this elite group, many of whom were just drafted last night, by the way, in the NBA. And
I was just thinking, guys, maybe in the second quarter of every home game, we can start a "We Love Larry" chant. Just because, it was a great time under Larry.
Good times indeed.
I wonder if future athletic directors might be like the candidate pool, former heads of NIL collectives, organizations, or former head coaches who have dealt with this era. Talking like 2031, 2032. Maybe the market's a little bit more stable. Hopefully it is. A lot of people will quit. But the guy who comes in has been a shark and a cutthroat figure wherever they were in negotiating contracts with players. And they turn into, as an athletic director, part of their job, Alec Baldwin and Glenn Gary. It's like, that's the job. You don't like it? F you. Out the door you go.
Yeah.
But that's the part of the athletic director oversight of the future, which is, why are we not winning these negotiations? I don't understand how you don't win these negotiations. This is your job. Does the athletic director's job change and the oversight that they have look different 5 years from now, because you'll have some legacy candidates who live through this nonsense?
It's interesting, Tom, because I do start to judge athletic departments by how they handle NIL negotiations in all sports. I'm looking at this right now.
It's a new piece of criteria.
It is. I'm looking at what we couldn't do in the negotiation with Issa, what we couldn't do with certain football players that have been on campus and we couldn't sign because of our I would say it's not antiquated because it's new, but our ill-advised view of what NIL was and was becoming and what the rules were. What we're currently not doing with Florida State baseball, that got to pick up here real soon. I've got growing concerns about Florida State baseball right now. It's not panic yet. I have not hit the red button yet. I do have 2 fingers to my eyes, 2 fingers back to you, FSU baseball. anyhow, we're going to continue to monitor that situation carefully. But I begin to look at an athletic director, and that is added to the resume and to the ways in which I judge what's happening with the job they're doing. You can't fail across the board and still have me think of you in a positive manner. It's just not going to happen. Like, we're going to have to do better. Now, I understand if it's a battle for an elite 5-star player in any sport and you're competing against somebody that has much greater resources than you, it's unfair of me to figure you're going to win that battle. So I get it. If there's a 5-star whatever, baseball player, football player, basketball player, and you lose out to an SEC school or a Big Ten school that has more annual payout as a member institution of the money leagues, then, that's going to happen. I get it. But we're losing some kids right now that have really nothing to do with money. And also losing some kids that has to do with money because we didn't understand how to negotiate or didn't know what it should look like. So that's frustrating. It is. And that can only continue for so long before you say, is there a pervasive attitude or misunderstanding as to how this all works that has now infiltrated what happens in baseball, basketball, and football? Do we just not have our ducks in a row as an organization, as a department?
I would think in the last few years, because when NIL first started, not RevShare, but NIL, a lot of the representation was amateur hour. I mean, we talked to people in this industry who know, not just at Florida State, that, it could have been a friend, a parent, a relative, extended, perhaps somebody in the high school game who were handling negotiations with major colleges. And that looked different than after year 1 is complete, year 2 is complete, and retaining agencies who have real negotiating history and power, lawyers who know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It has gotten more professional and more buttoned up as time has gone on.
Very much so. Very much so.
So wouldn't that beget a set of parameters and rules that you could apply across the board and across sports in terms of your own game plans? Like, as it narrows and you're not dealing with Uncle Jerry over here, and then I am WME management over there. Like, no, these are all now pros. You would think it gets easier to negotiate at that point from the university side, not in the term, not on the amount of money against your competitors. You can't control what your competitors offer, but just in the manner in which you negotiate, the playbook
having a
to negotiate.
simple understanding of what it is.
Yeah.
That's called information, and having information informs, and informing your opinion matters. Understanding of how to set up rules and structures based around the facts of the case or what is or is not happening in the game in this case, right? Yes, absolutely. Knowledge is helpful. Always. It can change the way you view negotiations with an individual or in mass. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, for example, when social media became a part of the equation for what we do, it could be this specific show, it could be Warchant, it could be whatever. But as, Twitter existed or Facebook became a little bit more professional,
whatever it is,
you'll build protocols. YouTube, shoot. I mean, there's a better example. You build protocols because this has now become a normal part of the operation. Where are we there? As a university? I think that's a question that every fan base probably wonders about their own athletic department is, do we just now have protocols? It's like, okay, well, this is now a negotiation, so we go to chapter 4 of here's how we operate this program. Because we've now gone through dozens of these, we have a pretty good sense of how these things are supposed to work now.
I think it would be really important if you were this is usually reserved for some sort of political assessment or social assessment of an issue, but you can use it here too. If you're on the wrong side of the issue, or if you're on the wrong side of history, like if you had a view of where you thought it was going and what it looked like and what it was, and you found out that none of that was true, that it's not where you thought it was going, and it's not what it is, and now you have means by which to find out what it is and where it's going, that would be very helpful. Well, you do. You do. Because of the professionalization of the college football agent, you have the ability to reach out to other programs, but also agents across the sport, legitimized, intelligent lawyers and the like.
And they'll accept a consulting fee. They'll be happy to.
You can find out exactly what a outside linebacker of that caliber is going to cost you. You can find out exactly what a quarterback costs you if you want one of the premier players at the position. You can find out exactly what what the average or what the high end is for a left guard. You can find all of this out now.
Absolutely you can. And look, I did a study on this last year for Warchant. If the NFL salary cap methods were applied to college football,
Right.
how much would you spend?
So asset, yes.
Yes. What percentage of your cap or your
Allocation.
budget would you allocate towards quarterback, left tackle, all that kind of stuff? And that was just an experimental project. But then later on, Pete Nakos for On 3 actually did the real project, which is talking to the agents themselves and saying, oh, here's what they're going for. I mean, that's an article every year that I'll look forward to. It's like, all right, what's the going rate? What's the going rate for specifically a defensive tackle who's a 3-year player? They just did one for what's the going rate for basketball program budgets. We were just talking about how many teams are over $20 million for their college basketball team. How many programs are over $10 or $15 million for the college basketball program? Those numbers are growing at an unsustainable rate right now, but it's always fascinating. And if you're in athletics, if that's your job, and rev share has now been, it's been a year now that rev share is a part of the equation, one would think it gets a little easier. Or it should.
It should absolutely get easier. Listen, I know a few agents, right, that are in this realm. I know some big ones, some ones who have big time clients all across the country who send kids and sign kids to Ohio State and Georgia and Alabama and Florida State and Florida and Miami. And, when I would initially talk to one of these guys, they would kind of, well, we're not exactly sure of what it costs for a right tackle right now, but we think it's in the neighborhood of this, or whatever it would be. Now, when you talk to those people, they're like, oh no, the number one portal tackle got $752,000 over it was a 2-year deal. They're going to be paid $750 per. Oh, really? No, that's exactly what the deal was. And here's what it would cost to buy him out.
And that number's a lot higher these days.
I made it up.
But yes, you're correct. They now know. It's like, oh, that's what he got.
Right.
Rather than we think Ohio State gave him
they know. They end up knowing. And they'll talk to other agents. You're not guessing anymore. You were in the early days of NIL and transfer portal. You were kind of guessing. You're not guessing now. Now you know, okay, this guy got $3 million. If you want one of these 3 quarterbacks, they are on par with that guy who just signed, and he got $3 million. So you're going to have to be in that ballpark. Okay. I don't want to swim in those waters, but that's if we want that kid, then we're going to have to do that.
Well, and back to the AD thing, in that modern conversation, it would be, yeah, I hear you. You hate that you only have this much, but here's what you do have. Now, if you could go get some third-party money like Luke did, you go ahead and do it.
Well, you better be telling your coaches that they have to also, and anybody else that's in that field, like your front office, they all have to be able to do this now.
Correct. And you say to the coach, or you say to whoever's in the John Garrett position, all right, these are the resources. This is what the going rate is for the positions. We all see these numbers. How are you going to prioritize it? I want to know what your plan is, because I want at the end of this season to take a look at the plan and let's assess how you did, because that's my job to assess how you're doing.
Also, so how can we create new revenue streams and more arms that that give money to the players so that we can be competitive? Because here's what's not an option. Sitting around saying, woe is us, and getting our ass beat. That's not an option. Not at Florida State. It's an option at Wake. It's not an option here.
Right, exactly. So Champs in the chat says it's not NIL, it's pay for play. Okay, I don't care. So if I'm the athletic director talking to the coach, you can have a pity party with that on the car ride home.
We know. No, Champs, I agree with you.
Yeah,
it is
we
pay
agree
for
with
play.
you. It is.
We already know what it is, but I don't care. It
That's
just
what
happens
rev
to be
share is.
called. It happens to be called NIL. Whatever.
Yeah, revenue share, legitimately, literally, you're sharing the revenue that is generated for your play.
Yes, and you opted in.
So, but if you're saying that as a statement of this is stupid, well, that's not the energy I need in my building right now.
It also doesn't matter that you think it's stupid.
Yeah.
We have to figure out our way of competing at a very high level, certainly beyond 2 and 10.
Miami doesn't think it's stupid. Miami loves this right now.
And Miami can spend more than us right now. And we will be hampered by this system so long as it is in place, but not to the tune of 2 and 10, 5 and 7, and not to the tune of I'm going to stick my head in the sand and say, this sucks. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. F you. Figure out a way. We got to do better. Somebody else can be innovative. There are places that have figured out how to win and win big that are spending less money than Florida State. By the way, that first team at Indiana was not spending.
No, they were cheap relative to the competition.
Very much so. Even last year's team was outspent by countless competitors,
including their national championship opponent.
Now, they won't be outspent moving forward, which is a different set of circumstances.
And makes it interesting for Signetti. Like, can he handle that type of culture versus the one that he had, which was a little bit more pure, quote unquote, and it wasn't pure, but more
it was certainly
organic than what he's about to have.
No, what he did is the greatest coaching job in college football history. You can just say it. It's insane. Think about what he did in year one. And then by year two, they're the best team in college football. Go look at that roster. Go look at what they spent. Ohio State way outspent Indiana. So did, and named several other teams.
Yeah, that Oregon team that they ended within 5 minutes.
Yes, dude. So you can compete and win games. Now, sustainability over long periods of time while you're only able to spend, let's say, 70% of what your opponents spend, you're going to lose out. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you. I'm not saying Florida State is going to be able in perpetuity to compete with the best of the best if they're at a decisive disadvantage monetarily, but they got to be better than this. They're getting beat by programs that don't spend as much as they do in this sorry-ass ACC. So that's the frustration. There's the rub. Like, hey, man, no, I get it. If you're going to try to outspend Texas, good luck to you. It ain't going to happen. Go with God. But if you can outspend Virginia and Pitt and or spend as much as NC State and be better than this.
That's the sad part right now. Is even in football, which we fancy ourselves to be at the top echelon of the sport, you almost have to have people in power that have the Luke Laux approach, which is, I understand the job I'm taking. I'm understanding what it is. I'm understanding what it's not. More importantly, I know what I'm not. And I'm going to have to find a way around what I'm not. And it doesn't feel like that is the pervasive attitude specifically to football right here, right now.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I don't have a comfortable feeling outside of what Luke's doing and what Trey does. I don't. I get angry with what I'm seeing now. There's a whole lot of put upon, whether it's the system or what we don't have. You don't have the luxury. You know who's paid well? You are, meaning the coach. You are paid handsomely. Figure it out. Do better. You're going to lose out on some things. I got it. I'm reasonable. Let the press and the people covering the team and the fans decide whether or not you're in that realm of success that you should be in based on the monies. But don't sit around feeling put upon and angered by something you don't think is fair. Nobody wants to hear that. I want to get the sense that I get with Luke, that you are striving at all times to figure out ways around that disadvantage. I want to know, like, well, that dude flew to another country to have breakfast with the mom of a recruit because he knew he could FaceTime said recruit in the moment, and it would be the very thing that puts him over the edge, even if the money's slightly different.
Oddly enough, that's one of the very deep-seated traits of Florida State athletics.
Oh, it's our history.
Finding its way
overcoming.
around.
That's right. Doing more with less. Yeah. Play to it. It is our legend. It is our history. Doing more with less, having been around half the time of Florida and still outshining that program in the state. That's, yeah, man. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Screening and repair, we stay in front of the latest materials and technology.
The standard these days has moved towards vinyl, which is a very good insulator. So, has become the standard, with the modern windows. And then from the glass standpoint, pretty much any modern window is going to come with at least some level of what they call a low E coating on the glass that actually reflects the UV rays, away from your house. Here in the South, summers are our problem. So we're always looking for our houses to be cooler.
Newer energy-efficient windows can take stress off your AC during the summer, lowering your utility bills to save you money in the long run. Find out more about all our services and get a free estimate today at leonscreening.com. That's leonscreening.com.
This time of year, we enjoy spending time outdoors in this beautiful North Florida climate until the mosquito attack begins.
Paul's Termite Pest Control can help you take your yard back. We have an affordable program to help keep mosquitoes away, and our program even helps with other pests like ticks.
Mosquitoes are a nuisance to you, and by carrying diseases such as heartworms, they can be harmful to your pets.
Learn more about how Paul's can help protect you, your family, and your pets from mosquitoes. For the elimination of termites, pests like mosquitoes,
and a greener lawn too,
call Paul's. We'll get them all.
Do you want to take your yard back by having a green and pest-free lawn?
At Paul's, we understand the unique needs of your North Florida lawn, which is why we developed a program to address those concerns.
Our treatment program includes inspection, treatment, and education on best practices for optimized results for remaining environmentally conscious. An added benefit is that our lawn treatment is flea suppression, so having a greener lawn can help protect your pets too. For a greener lawn and the elimination of fleas too,
call Paul's. We'll get them all.
Dive into summer fun at Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas. Get 15% off endless pool swim spas. Plus, enjoy free delivery while supplies last. Endless pools are perfect for swimming, exercising, or relaxing right in your backyard. Enjoy year-round fun with customizable features and the peace of mind that comes with a quality product. Visit TallahasseeHotSpring.com today and make a splash with Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas.
Hi, this is Gary Parsons with Cafe de Martin. We've introduced the wonder of Pisco to Tallahassee. Pisco is the liquor of Peru. It's distilled like bourbon, but it's made with grapes. So you get your fruit serving in too. Come see us at Cafe de Martin, open Tuesday through Sunday with live music on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Online at cafedemartin.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for other special events.
Your business doesn't stop, and neither does IOI's. From the trusted owners of Mac & More Systems, IOI's offers 24/7 IT support, cybersecurity monitoring, HIPAA and compliance consulting, cloud data management, phone systems, and full network design and security. For healthcare, finance, legal industries, IOI specializes in keeping sensitive industries protected and connected. Local service, major protection. Visit IOIs.com today and discover why smart businesses trust IOIs.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Really quickly, allow me to do something that has nothing to do with sports, although they have worked with us on the Jeff Cameron Show and in our community for some time. And you guys know about them, and you've helped them out as well, and you've helped us out as well. But I do want to, and this is completely unscripted because I just had this happen in the last 24 hours, and it makes me so proud of who they are and what we've been able to do with them. And it makes me excited to work with them moving forward. Not that I didn't already know it, but I got affirmation in a very real way. The second harvest of the Big Bend, the people that work there and the work they do are, I just can't say enough glowing words and tributes to them and the things that they do. And I don't want to get too specific here because I don't want the people involved in the situation that I'm referencing to get uncomfortable. But I became aware of a situation, and I reached out to our friends at the Second Harvest of the Big Bend because we've worked with them. And this particular situation involved somebody, a young person who needed a little help, who's struggling to have enough to eat. And, you know, nobody wants to hear that. None of us want to hear that. That's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. All of us feel that way if you hear about especially a young person or an old person who really aren't in a position to do much for themselves. And I was able to reach out in really a very short period of time, as in I made a phone call to some people we know at the Second Harvest of the Big Bend, explain the situation. I did this yesterday. Within an hour of my phone call, I had to leave a message. Within an hour, I got a call back. The situation was remedied. The person is getting the help they need. the people that we've worked with and that you guys have contributed to and helped out over the years, you'd be very proud. You would be so happy to know of not just the response, but the thoroughness with which they told them help is available, where to get it, how to go about building towards the future, not just for food, but also the possibility of a job for this person and some other things. It was in totality, top to bottom, efficient, fair, loving, kind, and most importantly, it solved the situation. And I think I already knew the work that they did. I think I already realized how good the group of people over there are and the things that they do for those that are less fortunate, those that are in need, simply put. But I don't know that I realized the extent to which they would, once hearing about a situation, would react in totality, in full, to make sure it was remedied and then to educate. And that was the amazing part, was I now have more information than I've ever had about how to help people and how to direct people and where people can go if they find themselves in dire straits like that. It was educational. It was professional, but moreover, they walk it like they talk it. They are lovely, kind, beautiful people doing great work. So a shout out to the people at the Second Harvest of the Big Bend and the folks that we work with on the Jeff Cameron Show for the JCS golf tournament. And we also have that call-in show we do each year as also just the one show committed. I just can't say enough. So I wanted to get that out there. I wanted to thank them publicly. So that's it's good stuff. And it was impromptu. It happened like that. I was like, man, that's the way it should be. It's awesome to know that it is.
That's how you become in awe of what people do is when you need them. You know,
they do it every day, and
Right.
unless you need them, you don't think about it.
Right. Like the first thing that came to mind is an EMT. You know, we hear about them mentioned. Sometimes they're kind of a throw in when you talk about first responders. Is like EMTs and what they do. And then you have a loved one collapse.
Or something like that, yeah.
You know,
and then all of a sudden, yeah.
And you're like, and you watch these people rush to save that person or comfort that person. You say, my God. Or like a hospice worker. You know, you don't.
Yeah.
You might know a hospice worker through a friend of a friend, but then your grandmother needs that care. And you see them come in and leave 6 days in a row and what they do. You're like, oh my God. Then you understand what it is they do rather than kind of just know cognitively that they do the Lord's work, you know, like, but when you see people actually touch something that, you know, it can change.
I was just
change
buoyed.
your appreciation.
I was buoyed.
They
Absolutely.
do have heart for days.
Man. They do. And it's just cool. Well, you just want to know that things work efficiently, that they do what they say they are going to do, that they are able to provide the services that they promote on their website. And when we get around them in person, you know, you want to know, oh, so this is how it works. And I didn't give you a heads up. This is me calling out of nowhere on a afternoon because I became aware of something. And this is you responding that quickly. And bam, the situation was fixed this morning, just like that. Awesome. And I know, by the way, and I can say this with great certainty, that that wasn't because I have this medium. It was not as a result of me being somebody who's
or
recognized in the community. No, it wasn't that. It may seem that way to people from the outside. It's not. It wasn't that. And there are ways to know that, and it wasn't that. It was fantastic. So anyhow, very, very cool. Now I'll move on, get back to the sports. But I didn't want to forget.
Boy, what's going on today? You know, the bottom of the hour news here, they're talking about pets being adopted.
There was something positive? I know.
Those news reports can
be rough.
Even for people with a stomach, you know. I think even a district attorney would be like, damn, guys. Like, I deal with this every day, and this is something.
I do know, by the way, back to that topic we were on a moment ago before I gave the shout out to the Second Harvest of the Big Bend and the great people over there. We were just talking about, I understand. Again, I understand the current climate is not ideal for the vast majority of schools seeking to compete at the highest level, like wanting to compete for championships. If you're not in an oil state like Texas, if you don't have the billionaire boys club that happens to be part of your university's legacy and the contributions, then you are to some degree a second-class citizen. You are on the outside looking in. You will eventually succumb to those schools who can most consistently pony up the largest amounts of money. I'm not naive as to not realize that, but there are degrees to this. And not every problem is attributed to a lack of funds. Not every problem that Florida State has is a direct result of not being able to keep up with the Joneses. This is where the frustration stems from for me. It's that I understand we are at a disadvantage. I also understand you did not see the problem on the horizon, did not meet it head on, or have the right attitude towards trying to remedy or narrow the gap said issue. And that pisses me off. And we see the results of that. And you watch it, and I think it's just lazy when our fan base and people online go, well, we just aren't going to be able to compete. We don't have the money. It's not just that, guys. You can be a top 25 program. You can be a top 30 program, top 40 program. You don't have to be but sorry as we are now in football because you can't keep up with the money that Texas spends or that, let's say, Michigan spending or Miami spending. You may not be able to consistently, unfortunately, keep up for the high-end prize where we ultimately want to be without a change in the system. That's true. But you can certainly be light years better than what we are now. And you can also be innovative. You could also be forward-thinking. You can also attack the problem by recognizing it for what it is and not putting your head in the sand and pretending that it's going to be remedied by Congress or that it's going to be fixed by a college sports commission that apparently has no power.
This is not to entertain the pity party idea, but I do wonder at what point will the sycophantic alum not be allowed to rig the game at the end of the equation, because there was a common thought out there. I was not among this group, but there was common thought out there that once revenue share is introduced, once NIL and collectives are a thing and revenue share takes a bigger piece of the pie, that these alum will go away. Like, oh, the players are getting paid. I don't need to get involved. Oh, man, they're more involved than ever if you're just talking about total dollars. At what point would you get to a place where they're not allowed to butt into the process? Like, what if there was a giant Tampa Bay Lightning fan who was a billionaire, and he's like, well, you pay that guy $6 million against the cap, and then I'll find a way to float him extra. It just doesn't happen on this level with this regularity in professional sports. But college has weird DNA. It has, and that's why we love it in a lot of ways. And in some other ways, it's a reason to loathe what college athletics is. What model must exist for these guys to get frozen out to where the Texas oil money no longer is a part of the equation? What does the nature of the deterrent or the transparency of player compensation need to be in order to never have this be a part of the equation ever again with loaded handshakes and extra benefits? I just wonder what it would take, what the deterrent would have to be.
Well, you worry about it too, because you obviously see, to use politics as an example, you see PACs, political action committees, right? They influence laws, they influence elections, they influence. Nobody that's a Republican or a Democrat thinks it's a good idea, or an independent that thinks it's a good idea that these PACs end up serving as the mechanism for industries that don't have our best interest.
Election advertising money, it's unlimited.
It's unlimited. Yeah, you're like, well, that ain't good. And nobody thinks that's good, and yet it exists.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you worry about it.
Like, would you have to, as a player, submit your W-2, submit your tax information, and it has to line up to the compensation? I just wondered to what degree you'd have to go in order to ensure that very real part of the game for generations and generations, it's always it's taking different forms, that it is minimized or it goes away. I just wonder.
Well, we've been wondering it since this all started, when all of a sudden it became a race to see who had the biggest benefactor and who was willing to give the most. I mean, we all began to wonder, like, I mean, we knew from day one. Because I'll tell you something that's funny. You know who worries about that too? not somebody you would think about. Alabama. They're scared to death. They know, we can't keep up either. We can't keep up with Texas. Alabama can't keep up with SMU. Not if SMU is going to continue to be all in and add to the coffers. No, man. Alabama will not keep up. They'll go by the wayside.
That is a regular talking point over there amongst those.
They know.
Yeah, they're like, well, there are limitations to what we can do. Like
We've got problems is what they're saying.
Yeah, media messaging out there is that, yes.
Well, basically, when you found out that, what was it? We were within $5 million of the NIL expenditure. Last year when we played Alabama and beat that ass.
It's true.
They were not a behemoth that came in here with a roster that was $15-20 million more than what we were paying for ours. They were not that at all. We were within $5 million of what they spent on their roster.
Which in fairness means 8 to 10 because of the suck tax, but yes.
All right. But the point is we were on the same ball field.
And yes, we were.
Yes, we were. In fact, they didn't belong on the field with us that day.
No, they besmirched Bobby Bowden Field. Now, we've done that a lot of times in the last few years, but it was their turn that day to, an Alabama football legend himself. They disgraced him that day on that field.
So when schools like that are amongst the blue bloods in the hierarchy of the game all time find themselves in a similar predicament as many other schools, you would think that then the yearning for that leveling off that everybody's been waiting for would happen and maybe even be expedited. It hasn't yet. But I think what you do see is two different ways of viewing that said predicament. There is which does nobody any good. You're not going to go win more football games. You're not going to compete. You're not going to be a contender or a program of significance of any kind with that's just the way it is. That ain't going to do anything. What you do have to do is get very, very creative. And one of the things that I hear our athletic director and many others say who find themselves in that predicament is that very thing. They agree with me. Well, okay, we were hoping that there would be rules that had real teeth. There would be a implemented system by which we could judge the payments to these players that would be fair-minded and forward-thinking and everybody could win. But those aren't coming. And those have not been enforceable and not everybody has agreed. So rather than sit here and just take it on the chin until those rules are forthcoming, if ever, we need to find ways to create revenue streams. We've got to find ways to divert funds. We've got to find ways beyond ticket sales and certain successes on the field and so forth. We've got to find other ways in which to bring money in. And some have gotten very creative, whether it be their corporate sponsors or it be obviously their gear, Nike, working directly with Nike, working directly with, let's just say you have a naming rights situation and we end up working out a deal with the Seminole Indian tribe and for Hard Rock Stadium, which is down there now. If you have the stadium naming rights, whatever it might be.
Boy, that has been whispered about a bunch the last year. That, like the naming rights thing is imminent.
Let's go.
And
let's get to it.
You could set odds right now. Do you think we will have a named stadium beyond Doak and Bowden for corporate purposes for the game against SMU? Think we'll have one?
Oh, no. But I think by next year we will.
By next year. Okay.
Well, we're about to be playing football here.
That's right, on television with a lot of eyeballs.
Yes, I agree with you. I would like to think, I would hope that it would be, but no, I'm going to guess if it hasn't happened by damn near July.
Were they so scared of McDoke? Were they so scared of the Arches?
I don't want McDoke. Come on now.
I'll take McDonald's money.
I don't want McDoke. That would be embarrassing.
You could have the dollar section. That's where you said Seminoles pass. Is the dollar section.
No, I want an honest to goodness, negotiation, long-term success, more revenue coming in.
What events are you going to be hosting? Well, we're going to have another 3 games with the Bananas, a little bit of rodeo.
No.
What do you think?
No. Listen, do all the things you got to do. Have the events you're going to have, whatever, but have more of them. And
got a great Johnny Cash tribute band coming in. Actually, I'd go to that. But
well, I love Johnny Cash, but I don't know that you're going to sell out Doak for the Johnny Cash tribute band.
You wouldn't believe. You wouldn't believe
the tribute band. I don't think it's happening. But I mean,
the Line Walkers.
But I would definitely, yeah. I just want to feel like they're doing everything they can, and that they're being uber aggressive, and they're pushing boundaries, and they are like bordering on almost unethical. I mean, I want to hear all about the things that they're trying to do in order to create revenue streams that don't currently exist for us to have a more competitive NIL.
The Champions Way is now Polymarket Way in Tallahassee. When you stop by on game day on Polymarket Way, make sure, like, yeah, let's put some parlors out there. Outstanding.
I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping that we find out that Kalshi is, in fact, sponsoring Doak to the tune of $1 billion a year.
I see this in the chat, so I'm not taking somebody's suggestion here. And Mike Norvell says, okay, with their money, can I spring practice on the field in the stadium?
Yeah. Am I allowed to do that? Like, also, by the way, I'm going to reopen practice because we have good players.
That's right. I just want to play on the service in Doak. I've been asking for weeks. I don't know, we're the football team. We allowed to practice in there, or are my player's legs going to snap off?
I also know that I don't have a very strong voice within the athletic department currently.
That's right.
But I am suggesting it would be of help if we could practice in the stadium occasionally, or at least scrimmage in the stadium occasionally.
Are we going to lay and play this thing again before New Mexico State? Is that in perpetuity? What are we doing here?
You know what somebody brought up to me yesterday after we finished headlines, and I think it even came up during headlines, like, what if we lost to New Mexico State? And I was like, don't you put that out there. What are you talking about? Let us lose to SMU properly. Don't let us lose to New Mexico State. Good God, man.
You just reminded me. You know how dreams can pop up based upon things that are said later in the day? For whatever reason, Odell Higgins was in my dream last night. And I believe he would be leading the team out of the tunnel against SMU if we lost to
New Mexico State.
Your head coach, Odell Higgins.
Well, don't forget, if we lose to New Mexico State Saturday, August the 29th, you'll get to see it live at 7 p.m. on the CW network, everybody. It is. It's on the CW.
It'll be one of Tom Brenneman's most epic calls. I don't know that it'll ever take the number one position.
No.
Can you believe this?
And there's a drive by Castellanos.
I'm great friends with the people at Fox for 20 years.
Yeah, we have a prime time against New Mexico State CW affair. What's wrong? Oh, we haven't done the news?
No. We're having too good a time.
What a great day at the office. We'll see you in hour 3. It is live. We'll get to hour 3.
Might be 3 hours.
Coming up. Everybody in my house, we eat the Factors. You've heard about Factor meal plans, right? You've heard this. I've got 2 growing boys. They eat incessantly. I was trying to get them enough protein, and I don't have the time to put together meals on the regular, as busy as I am. I think a lot of you can relate to that. Factor will take care of you. And man, the nutrition is very good. They have meal plans for anything that you might be trying to achieve, whatever that goal might be, weight loss or more protein if you're lifting heavy. GLP-1 support, they've got that too. So strength in every workout, all the things you could possibly need. Factor's Muscle Pro collection, they have that as well. My boys use that. The meals taste delicious. They're never frozen. Over 100 different types of meals to choose from. So I mix it up. And they ship it here. It's on time every Tuesday. We put those bad boys in the outside fridge, and my boys know they can go out there, grab a fresh meal made by a professional chef, and they're going to get everything they could possibly want. I use this product. My boys use this product. My wife uses this product. Head to factormeals.com/Cameron50off. Use code Cameron50off to get 50% off and a free daily greens per box with new subscription only while supplies last, until September 27th, 2026. grow up, one of the things that you'll miss are the games that you created with your friends in the neighborhood.
Oh, good days.
So I would have my buddy come over, and then we'd make up these games that were kind of like a hodgepodge of every game that you've ever played.
Kind of like the bikes we built.
Correct. Yes. And it's a grand experiment. In the beginning, nobody knows how to play the game, and you argue about what the rules are going to be. And in the end, everybody knows how to play the game. By the end of that summer, you know the rules, the neighborhood know the rules, and you play that game like it's the greatest game ever played.
But they still try to break the rules, right?
Oh, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But at the end, Eddie, you're never going to play it again, and you'll think about it the rest of your life.
And the best game you ever played was that game.
Never been a better one.
Hey, you want to have a Gordo Smash, Jeff?
I do. I'd like that. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996. Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future. Hey, this is for my homeowner friends out there. You know who you are. When you get your grass cut, you're going to inspect the work, make sure it's good. Get your house painted, check around every corner and edge, make sure that's done right. Get a new roof, gotta get eyes on those shimmering new shingles. Get your septic tank cleaned. Bet you're not popping your head down in there to take a look around. You gotta trust it's done right. I'll make it easy. Go see my friend Greg Miller, Miller Septic. They're my guys. I trust them, and you can too. MillerSeptic.com. That's it. That's the commercial. That's the whole thing. Check them out. That's MillerSeptic.com.
Hey, it's Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage. If you work hard to serve our community, whether you're a teacher, a nurse, firefighter, police officer, or first responder, or even a city or county employee, I've got some great news for you. Florida's Hometown Heroes program can help you buy a home with down payment and closing cost assistance up to $35,000, depending on where you live and work. It's a way to say thank you to the people that keep Florida running, and I'm proud to help local heroes take advantage of it every day. Don't assume you don't qualify. Let's find out together. I'll walk you through the process, show you how to combine these benefits with the right mortgage plan, and help you make that dream of homeownership a reality. Let's get started. You can reach me at 954-369-6171. That's 954-369-6171. I'm Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage, helping our hometown heroes find their way home.
Not every car dealership feels the same, and Tallahassee Ford proves it. No screaming ads, no gimmicks, no pressure, no games, no feeling like you're just another number. At Tallahassee Ford, it's about local people, real conversations, and helping you find the right vehicle for your life. Not just today, but for the long haul. From sales to service, we treat you the way a hometown dealership should. Tallahassee Ford. It's not your typical dealership experience, and that's exactly the point. Visit Tallahassee Ford today.
Love to compete on the dartboard? Then it's time to head to the CP. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill is Tallahassee's premier dart bar, featuring steel tip boards and soft tip internet play. The Corner Pocket hosts leagues and tournaments regularly. Just check out their social media to find a time that works for you. And in between games, grab a pint and a bite in the cool AC, or enjoy yourself outside on the deck. Whether you want to catch a game or start one of your own, the place to be is the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachie Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
WVFT Gretna, Tallahassee. This is Real Talk 93.3. More of the Jeff Cameron Show is coming up next. Your sports action update on Real Talk 93.3 with all the latest odds from Vegas.
Braves look to end a 3-game losing streak today with Martin Perez on the hill, 6-3, 2.78 ERA, $1.26 favorite against Randy Vasquez of the Padres, plus 104, 7.5 under the total at Petco Park. Tampa Bay Rays have lost 2 straight in 7 of 10. They're $1.49 favorite today against the Royals at Tropicana Field. Shane Van Gisbergen -160 to win. The Toyota Save Mart 350 in Sonoma. Tyler Reddick and Connor Zilic both +850. PGA Tour signature event this week, the Travelers Championship at TPC River Highlands. Scotty Scheffler, the +440 favorite. Score $500 in rewards at the GBank First Bet VSiN Trifecta. Details at vsin.com/GBank. For more sports betting news and information, go to vsin.com. Mike Sennett, Real Talk 93.3.
The Colonel's cooked up a new $10 bucket of the day just for you. Monday, 24 nuggets for $10. Tuesday, 8-piece fried chicken for $10. Wednesday, 10 wings for $10. Thursday, 8 tenders for $10. Friday, 24 nuggets for, ooh, you guessed it, didn't you? $10. The $10 bucket of the day deal. Every weekday. Only at KFC. It's finger licking good.
Prices and participation vary while supplies last. Not available on third-party ordering platforms. Tax extra.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself. And Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Pay-per-view fights can ring up big bills, especially since in the Octagon, there is one every few weeks. That's why the Seventh Hill Tap Room right downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill carries every single fight. Plus, unlike most pay-per-view bars, there's no cover charge. And drink specials, too, like $3 select domestic beers and more. And if you enjoy international soccer, Seventh Hill opens early. $2 mimosas on Sundays, anyone? The Seventh Hill Tap Room, 2475 Appalachian Parkway, just downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
Florida man, what'd you do to yourself this time?
Disney World. Me and Hank, my emotional sport alligator, we did it all.
Please tell me you weren't swimming in the Seven Seas Lagoon again.
Well, not this time. We rode the monorail to the Magic Kingdom, hit Space Mountain, crushed some turkey legs, and we washed it down with a couple of Dole Whips. And the best part, the Country Bear Jamboree.
Sounds like a great day so far. What happened?
Well, we're running late, and I'm sprinting to the front row of the show, and it starts, and the music's playing, and crowds are clapping. I got carried away. I got this bright idea. I'm going to stage dive to Hank. I jumped, Hank tried to catch me, and pop, my back went out midair.
Well, I'm glad you came, because Dr. Finn's going to get you fixed right up.
Well, next time we're sitting in the back row.
You don't have to do a Disney stage dive to get back pain, neck pain, headaches, or numbness in your arms and legs. Come see us at Fenn Chiropractic for exceptional care to help your body heal itself the right way. Book your appointment online today at fennchiro.com. That's FENNCHIRO.com.
Let's be honest, we all have way too much stuff. Maybe your storage closet is full, your garage is full, or the guest bedroom is a mess. Call Southeast Portable Buildings, 580-6400.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Always. At Jay Cameron Show on Twitter. And here we are in the throes of hot days, summer days, long days, but soon football will be upon us. As I began the show earlier today, I mentioned 65 days, 20-something hours, whatever, till we're starting college football. That's amazing. Practice begins in July. And then we get this little note, this little ditty to start the day. Florida State will be represented at the ACC kickoff media event on July the 15th. Yes, I will be in attendance for that, by wide receiver Deuce Robinson, quarterback Ashton Daniels, and defensive back Jabril Rawls, along with head coach Mike Norvell. If I had to have guessed, Tom, the three individuals that would be there accompanying Mike Norvell, those would have been the three that I would have guessed.
It makes total sense to me. They're going to do well for themselves in that setting. All three of them will.
Held at the Hilton Charlotte Uptown. The event will take place the 15th through the 17th, feature all 17 ACC football programs, but I won't see all 17. Oh, nay. Oh, nay. Because we're on the 15th. May stay an extra day.
Well, there you go. Look, it's not like you need to race back for any reason. There's not practice right after like there was 2 seasons ago.
Right.
When we were playing Georgia Tech, the ACC kickoff was late. So Georgia Tech and FSU were day one, and they essentially began camp right afterwards. There's going to be a small gap here. Well, not a small, a non-insignificant gap.
2-week gap.
2-week gap between the ACC kickoff media availability and then maybe a couple of days before fall camp starts, the luncheon or whatever they want to do to kick off the practice process.
Yeah, and I look forward to talking to Deuce and Ashton and Jabril. I really do. And Mike, I do. You know what? I should go circle back, as they say, and bring up a point I was making in hour number 1, which is that, and you were jokingly saying Jeff Cameron show versus Mike Norvell.
Oh, we've already got it sold here at 93.3.
Yeah. No.
Cameron versus Norvell.
No. What I was saying was that Mike has been very professional through all of this, and we've always gotten along swimmingly. I'm sure he's well aware of my opinions regarding his job status, but he's handled it very well, and he's willing to sit down with you and do interviews. And I would think that nothing will change here. Could be wrong. We'll find out. That would be captivating. That would be riveting. If he just gave me the cold shoulder and a big FU, that'd be something. That'd be news in and of itself. We'd have to talk about it. It'd be fun. But I don't think that's going to happen. And I am kind of interested to see. He has been. Somebody pointed it out. I think it was on Twitter. Somebody sent me a video when there was a recruit in town. He was in the car with a recruit, and they were laughing and talking.
Oh, he has the defensive end.
Yeah. He does seem jovial, and he seems relaxed. He seems – I mean, I think at some point you kind of come to grips with the situation you're in, which is I know what we all know. I got to win or I'm going to get fired. But to me, if you have a $50 million parachute, I too would be relaxed about that possible outcome. I'd be like, well, if it happens, it happens. Good to see you, Tom. And I would go about my day. I would really not be all that concerned. I'd be fighting like hell to try to prevent it from happening. I would fight like hell to get this turned around because I like my job. I want to continue to keep my job. I want to win games because losing sucks. I would do all the things necessary to try to fix the situation and the devastating effects of losing seasons, but I wouldn't spend too much time preoccupied with the idea that if it doesn't work out, I'm going to lose my job. Most people who are worried about losing their jobs are worried about losing their jobs because they don't know how they're going to pay their bills if they lose their job. But in this world, college football coaches lose their jobs and get paid more money than they could ever spend the rest of their lives. What a wonderful parting gift. Hey, your services are no longer needed because you didn't do a good enough job to retain the position. But if you don't mind, can we give you $50 million to part ways? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It'll work out.
He understands what it is to be a Major League Baseball player. When you sign that contract, it is so. Or Kirk Cousins, I suppose, for that matter. When you sign a contract, I'm getting paid this much one way or the other.
Yeah.
So that's just what it's going to be. As long as I don't pull a Hugh Freeze, I'm all good, man.
It should free you up to, do whatever it is you think is necessary to try to get this thing turned around and win games, because the ramifications of not succeeding are not devastating. They are for you and me. They are for anybody else in any other walk of life. They're not for college football coaches, pro football coaches, you name it. By the way, Deuce obviously earned first-team All-ACC, third-team All-American honors in 2025. He'll be the 11th Nole with 1,000 yards receiving. He became the 11th Nole to have a 1,000-yard receiving season. And, I'm looking for greater consistency from him. To me, and I can't wait to talk to him because I think he's pragmatic and he's a realist. So is his dad. And we enjoy talking to Dominic and Deuce alike. And I think Deuce knows that he's got to get a lot better in a lot of areas to become what he wants to be, which is no doubt a first-round draft pick. And he's already very, very talented. He has the required work ethic, and he's obviously an elite athlete. But he's got to be more sure-handed. He's got to consistently catch the ball the first time it touches his hands. He's got to be better in the red zone as a big target. He's got to be able to come down with those jump balls and those fades. And I think he can. I know that he's put in the work. So it will be interesting to hear about his goals. It'll be interesting to hear about what he's done to improve in those areas.
So I'm pulling up the screen right now for all-time leading receivers in Florida State history. Of course, Rashad Green has the record there. Ron Sellers had it forever. 3,830 yards. That's out of the realm. But you get to 15th all-time. That's the 2,000-yard threshold. Burt Reed had 2,000 yards receiving.
Never would have guessed Burt Reed had. That's crazy.
So just looking at some of these names, Tamorian Terry with 2,200 yards or Crefonzo Thorpe, man, throwback. I was in high school for that. 2153. Where do you think Deuce could get this year? With this quarterback, this offense, let's say he has a healthy season. Of course, he wasn't fully healthy last year. That Pitt game cost him quite a few yards. He probably would have had closer to 1,200 instead of under 1,100 last year. What spot in the order here do you think Deuce could reasonably climb to?
Oh, golly, look at that. He can go way up.
Yep. Yeah, he can climb. If he was to be...
If he had 600 yards, he's going to be top 5.
He's at 1,080, Deuce is.
Oh, I was looking at... What the hell was I looking at? I'm sorry. I was looking at Burt Reed.
Yeah, Deuce is down, way down. So right now,
he's at, I'm
53rd
sorry.
all time in 1,080 yards.
So he needs 1,000 yards, which he had last year.
Yep.
That gets him to 2,000.
That gets him to the top 15 all time.
All time.
If he wants to be top 10, he needs to have a little under 1,200 yards to pass Tamorian Terry.
I would like him to pass Tamorian Terry.
If he has 1,400 yards, he'll climb up to 7th all time. A little bit more than 1,400 yards, he could pass Greg Carr. Just throw up the jump ball. He would need an otherworldly season.
I bet
to
if
become
you
top
interviewed
5.
people and said, hey, how high on the list all time is Greg Carr, they would not say, oh, he's 6th best.
One of the best players of my time as a student was Greg Carr.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. I'm looking at those numbers. It's not good radio when I stare at a screen, but I would not. There's some names on there I would not have guessed. God, for years and years and years, one of my
What was it
favorites.
like watching Mike Schumann at Florida State from 1973
I did not
to
see
1977?
Mike Schumann, but I did see Lawrence Dossie, and I loved Doss. Obviously, I remember Jesse Hester. You don't. You weren't alive.
No.
I can name a lot of those guys, not Rhett Dawson, but I can.
Rhett Dawson sounds like he played in the years he played. Rhett Dawson was a Nole from 1969 to 1971.
I remember Jesse Hester. I remember, obviously, Kenny Shaw. I remember Burt Reed. I remember Snoop Minnis. I remember Crefonzo Thorpe, obviously. I remember Tamorian Terry. I remember, obviously Travis Rudolph. Didn't see Mike. Don't remember Barry.
Boy, Chris Davis being 19th all time. That's a pretty quiet 1,842 yards for Chris Davis from 03 to 06.
I always thought Chris was a pretty good player, though.
It could just be that I was in high school and just arriving at Florida State.
Yeah, no.
At the time of
his
departure.
It's interesting. You're right. You look at some of those numbers.
So 1,300 yards you think is in play maybe this year for Deuce?
Last year, Deuce Robinson caught just 56 balls to get over 1,000 yards. So if he is to catch 66 to 76 balls this year, you could get up to 1,300, 1,400 yards.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay.
I think Deuce could have another 1,000-yard receiving season. I don't think we're going to get up to
That'll put him around at the top dozen. If he had like 1,050 yards, he passes Dossie for 12th all time.
Well, the problem is the guy that's going with him up to Charlotte.
Yeah, the route tree is going to have to look different.
I mean, Ashton is going to have the best year of his career by far. I mean, he's already played a ton of football. He's played 37 games over 4 years, and he's not been very good in most of them.
I can tell you that they very much, this is the Robinson side of the equation. He does more than just run nines, and that was Gus's offense and, fade balls and all that kind of stuff. They are excited to display a little bit more of the well-roundedness of his game because it's going to help the team. It's also going to help his next team when he plays on Sundays to know that he's more than a one-trick pony. And he'll have to be with this quarterback with this arm strength.
Well, and I think that should be exciting for him because everybody watched him run the nine. Everybody knows that he can get the ball down the field, meaning he can make plays down the football field. But they're going to want to see a more diverse version of Deuce Robinson, a more sure-handed, a more versatile. And part of that is route running other routes than what he had to run last year. And I do want to see them, we see it here in the chat. Ryan writes, love Deuce, but hopefully the wealth is spread more evenly amongst the other receivers so we're not so predictable. He's 100% correct. That drove me nuts last year. Basically it was Deuce or nobody.
Yep.
And that drove me nuts. We talked a lot about Gus's offense last year, which I've never liked. But look, I'm not going to say it was all on Gus. We had a quarterback who was diminutive and couldn't see open receivers.
Gus's guy.
And or miss him consistently. Good God.
Gus's guy.
Well, and we allowed for Gus and that guy.
That's right. Gus got to choose him. So
I do wonder, man.
He doesn't get exonerated because of Tommy's failures. That's who he wanted.
Well, it's who he wanted out of the group that he could choose from. But, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Within that tier of quarterbacks, you probably get,
Well, you could have had somebody who was capable of seeing and throwing the ball a little bit more accurate. Yeah, I mean, it would have been ideal.
But Monty Jones would tell you Stevie Wonder would have been capable.
I'm still, golly. Yeah, it would have been tough last year to be a receiver, to be anybody that was in that receiving core not named Deuce Robinson. You had to be like, I don't even know why I'm on this team.
Oh, I mean, maybe that's the chant instead of the Larry Smith chant that I was talking about. It was like, poor squirrel white, poor squirrel white, poor squirrel. Just that's the chant. It's just we have to honor him, and he's got to have more presence in Doak. Lord knows he wore the jersey, but wouldn't have known it.
One big play.
That poor guy.
Well, and there were numerous times he was wide the hell open, only to see that thing sail into next week.
The Virginia one in the first drive of the game that's the hard one for me. It was first quarter.
Yeah, it hurt my feelings. There were many moments where I was like, good God, man. See, this is what I was talking about. Damn it. That's what I got so frustrated about. And even Deuce, who I love, that ridiculous quote in the video, he could do some things. You just can't believe him. Come on now. Let's everybody settle the hell down. I got backlash for that. People got mad at me. I'm like, come on,
I was there
man.
with you. It was like,
that man has never been any good. What are you talking about?
A lot of John the Baptist energy going on here. Prepare either way.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
That was nuts. They act like he was the God's gift to quarterbacks in college football.
If you're gonna call that, you got to get it right, man. So you're on notice.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I've seen some things.
Yeah, no,
how is this possible?
No, you haven't.
No, man.
No, he's not that. He's not that. Now, if you told me that he escaped an oncoming blitzer, made two people miss, and ran 37 yards for a first down into opposing territory, I'd go, yeah, I've seen him. He did that to us over and over and over again when he was at BC. It was maddening.
It is fair to ask, how's that possible? But not a throw outside the numbers.
No,
50
not an
yards
accurate pocket pass that is thrown on time in rhythm with good footwork. Yeah, no, that's not what you've seen. And you haven't seen it be to anybody other than yourself. Maybe that's what you're in awe of, because those poor other bastards are running waving their
maybe that actually has nothing to do with Florida State at all. Maybe it's a testament to how lonely he felt at USC in the Trojans offense. Like, how is this possible? Well, unlike Lincoln Riley, we're prioritizing you. And that's why you're getting the football.
Yeah, you're going to get worn the hell out. Pitch a Penny Pools and Spas. Everything you need for pool maintenance, chemicals, cleaners, pumps, vacuums, nets, covers. You name it, they've got it. We already know they have the largest selection of premium hot springs hot tubs in the entire city. They also have the cold plunge tubs. Those things kick ass. If you have an older hot tub and you've been kind of putting off getting an upgrade, listen, they'll deal with it for you. They'll come out, scoop it up, and give you some money towards your new one, and they'll haul the old one away. Not only will Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas remove and haul away your old beat-up hot tub, they'll give you that trade-in value. They make it very easy. Go check them out today. What a display, including the Pentagon. As Tom calls it, it's party time. Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas. If you're ready to relax, they're ready to show you how.
Auto Service, we have tires for all of these needs, and we service your vehicle from air conditioning and computerized alignment to oil changes and everything else under the hood. Call Nice Tire and Auto today at 574-4100. That's 574-4100 for your scheduled maintenance. National accounts welcome at Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
Tallahassee's 30-year-old funny paper and American Legion Post 13 have joined forces to become Major Morale. The new magazine has 4 more pages of post activities and military information that you probably never knew. But don't worry, it's still as politically correct and newsworthy as always. Okay, it's the same funny stuff, but it's still only available at the sponsors' locations like ABC Flooring, Tallahassee Automobile Museum, Krispy Kreme, or Keith Lawson Services, providing professional services and maintenance for your home's most critical systems for over 39 years. If you need air conditioning, heating, or plumbing repairs, you will receive an upfront written quote, and the job will be done on time by the area's most advanced, highly trained professionals. Keith Lawson Services, Florida licensed CMC 125456 and CFC 1429-197.
Hey, Noles fans, it's Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage, proud sponsor of the Jeff Cameron Show. If you feel like the housing market is on a losing streak, I can help you find new momentum and respond. Waiting for mortgage rates to drop could actually cost you more in the long run. When rates fall, home prices and buyer competition go up. That's why I'm helping Nole Nation to get pre-approved now. So when the perfect home hits the market, you're ready to score before the other team even lines up. Whether you're buying your first home or upgrading your dream home, I'll guide you through every step with passion and preparation. Let's get started today, and you can do that at loansfornoles.com. That's loansfornoles.com. You can reach me at 954-369-6171. That's 954-369-6171. I'm Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage, helping Noles everywhere find their home field advantage.
When I get home from work, I'm ready to relax. So I call Swain Pools and Spas to put my pool in the back. I call Swain Pools and Spas. Now I'm soaking up the fun when I want to.
In Tallahassee, when it comes to pool repairs and renovations, nobody does it better than Swain, and they've been doing it for over 46 years. Turn your worn, outdated, or neglected pool into something you're proud of again. Whether your pool needs resurfacing, tile repairs or replacement, equipment upgrades, or even a full makeover, nobody does it better than Swain Pools and Spas. Trusted for quality, reliability, and service, visit Swain Pools today under the huge sign on Tharp Street or at swainpools.com.
From the team behind Mac and More Systems comes IOWise, Tallahassee's trusted source for IT services. Protect your business with 24/7 cybersecurity, managed IT support, cloud storage solutions, network design, voice over IP phone systems, expert tech counseling, and more. Whether your business is growing fast or just getting started, IOWise keeps your systems running smoothly and securely. Local service, big solutions. Visit iowise.com today and work wiser with IOWise.
Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Rolling on, Big River. Good to be with you. A Ross Dellinger story today. Don't know if you saw it. Some of you definitely did because you kind of touched on it in the first hour I saw in the chat about where college football is headed. And, you know, the 5-year age-based eligibility model makes a lot of sense. If that goes through and is something that everybody can agree upon, great. We sometimes wonder if any of these things are going to be able to stick. That just seems like common sense. But then again, common sense is not what rules the day in college football. The other article was the one that came out earlier today. College athletics, emblematic of American society. American society, no individual can escape the mouth-watering desire of promotion, is how Ross Dellinger began the piece. But it made me laugh. He talked about universities that exist in a state of perpetual ambition to leave their own neighborhood for the more luxurious gated community down the street where a pool of big brands increases their property value. And the story is about how if things get done, conference realignment may cease if the congressional bill passes, but it's accelerated talks in the meantime. It's put a shot clock on it. You buy it?
No, I don't.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, there's a lot of things they're trying to get to stick against the wall. This specific stuff that's coming out lately, I enjoy sports business probably more than most of our audience.
I do too.
I enjoy the legal elements of sports as well. I find it fascinating. I know it's not great for what we do as an ecosystem here right now. I find it all fascinating. This is some of the more dense stuff that I've read, though, where I'm like, whoa, I got to reread that. What the hell did you just say?
Mm-hmm.
In the last few days, specific to Dellinger, and some of that's about the 5 for 5 thing with the age eligibilities.
The players,
kids.
by the way, have sued.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know how this stands. And anything in terms of Congress,
I don't. Yeah,
it's okay.
I
So
don't
it gets
hold
out
my
of the
breath.
Senate. What's the House going to do? Like,
Right.
I don't know, man. It's seems like a big hill to climb. No pun intended.
Well, and so many people want it that they will latch onto it immediately. Like, oh, look what could be happening. Could be unlikely, but sure. I got it. I know what you want. A lot of us want some semblance of order in our sport, but it's not happening.
I mean, I would think that programs like Florida State would sue and challenge the law themselves. If there is a freeze on conference expansion or realignment, you're telling me that I cannot be free to earn as much money as my TV ratings say that I should be able to earn? And you run the same slides we were running that whole time against the ACC of how more watched we are than the programs within our conference. Like, man, I think that's a case that we'd win if we had to go fight that battle too.
I also don't think it's something that is going to happen. I think there'll be one last round, depending on what direction this goes. I could see that there'd be one last round. And he kind of alludes to that fact where this might expedite the process of getting out for the last remaining assets. He doesn't use that word, but I will.
Music's almost stopped. Yeah.
So, hey, if that part of it's true, if that were to happen, come on, giddy up. Let's go. Sooner rather than later. Before those chairs cease to exist, not just out of desperation, but I'm ready for something, a shot in the arm, anything, something that makes you feel good about the possibility of getting closer to being on equal footing. You obviously are, despite all of our conversations about how I want them to be innovative and forward thinking and not feel put upon, I also would like them to get the money. So, yeah.
You want the regulations. That's the thing. Politically charged environment, regulations no good. Sports environment, when you're one of the have-nots, you want regulations. Give me regulations. Whatever pushes us across the finish line to a place where we better understand what it is we're watching. And I'm assuming that we're not going to get that type of existence for another 2 or 3 years. But whatever it is, it'll be my favorite thing. It might be framed on the wall in my home. It could be a piece of legislation. Maybe it'll be the first piece of legislation.
What you're gonna put on your wall?
I won't have a Declaration of Independence on the wall. I'm going to have whatever the hell this bill is. Whatever it is, whoever the figure is, it could be Petiti or Sankey or a television executive or a member of Congress. Whoever gets us there, you're on the wall in the Lang house.
I'm going to guess you don't put a picture of
Ted Cruz.
Sankey on the wall or Ted Cruz. Or
Chairman Ted on the wall.
I don't think
Thank you, Chairman Ted.
I don't think you're going to do it. The NCAA's new age-based eligibility rule allows players 5 years to compete as many seasons as possible, starting when they enroll in college or turn 19. The policy won't apply to players who've already exhausted their 4 seasons of eligibility. Less than a day after the NCAA voted to pass the new model, 15 players have filed a lawsuit to challenge how it will be implemented. So you'll follow that soon enough. By the way, other news throughout the day. The NHL is looking to maybe expand further. Yes, that's been in talks for some time now. By the way, good year for the NHL financially and from a rating standpoint.
The cap is going up and away for them.
It is. The league's already powerful presence across the United States and Sunbelt area has drawn more attention to places like Texas and, in fact, Austin, Texas, lobbying hard to be the next place for expansion in the NHL. Austin.
I think Austin would embrace it. They would embrace it. Houston, whatever. I mean, I'm sure it would be to an extent successful. I think Austin would embrace it. I would call them the weird, because keep Austin weird is a big mantra over
It
there.
is, and I'm fine with that. I don't know. It feels like when they went to Raleigh. You know, it's kind of like
I wasn't alive for. Well, I see what you mean. The Carolina Hurricanes.
But
yes.
well, I mean, they tried and failed and tried and failed. You know, I don't know. I don't know. But they're talking about it.
Well, Atlanta's on the short list again as well.
Let them fail again.
The answer is Quebec City. Like, that's a really far distance from Montreal. And that's the largest province in Canada. Give them their team. Give the French their other team.
Hey, something happened last night during the NBA draft that I liked. The first 20 players selected in the NBA draft yesterday all played in college. The most to begin a draft since 1994. I know you didn't watch the draft. You were traveling back from Ireland. You were exhausted. You got home. You went to bed.
That is correct.
I didn't watch all of the draft. I watched some of the draft. But I will say that I liked that part of it. I was like, oh, all right, nice. These are kids I saw. You know, I watched a lot of college basketball last year.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And I thought, I've seen all these kids play. Or at least the first 20. And I like that. There was a time where that was the way it was.
And you're down enough with the NBA.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got no problem with the sport of basketball. It's just something's got to get cut. You know, and the Noles basketball season's not going to. And it ain't going to be hockey. Ain't going to be baseball. Ain't going to be the PGA or the majors. So basketball is just kind of in a tough spot.
It's trending, though, to where this is going to happen. I looked at 2 mocks today, and the 2027 draft for this upcoming NBA draft next year, 27 of the 30 projected draft picks are all players in college now.
Nice.
That are going to be playing college basketball. I think that helps grow the game.
It does. Well, and there's also money in it. I'd look at.
Yeah, well, NIL changes everything.
I'd look at perhaps a draft minimum again. Look, why don't we reassess that? It's not like these kids don't have access to revenue. If I'm silver, let's make them 20 years old or 2 years in college.
I was listening. We were talking about the no supplemental draft last in the first hour and the second hour. And we kind of guessed that was going to happen, that they were not going to be in a hurry to welcome Brendan Sorsby to the NFL, and that there would be no reason to invite that kind of headache to your league. Like, you don't have to bend over backward for that, dumbass. And so they didn't, right? And that kid's lawyer can say anything he wants. Good luck. But I did think to myself that as far as the upcoming draft, next year's draft in the NFL, holy moly, is that going to be a quarterback draft? You look at partly because just how many people chose to come back and how many people transferred, but also, Tom, this is the same thing for the NBA that we're talking about. Kids will just stick around another year. Like, they will come back, and you end up funneling to where you have juniors and seniors who played a lot of football because they're getting paid. They don't have to leave. I'll take my $5 million and come back and play again. Look at Oregon. I mean, that kid was going to get drafted in the top 10.
Correct. Or Simpson, the offer that he was given to stay in college. Like, you could see if you're like, I know I'm not one of the top 3 quarterbacks this year, I'll just come back, play one more year.
What's interesting about Simpson is the more you read into that story, yes, that money was offered to go play college football. Not at Alabama.
No, it wasn't. No, because they knew that they had that stud.
The 5-star kid who, now think about this. He went pro because he was not going to be the starting quarterback at Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine that.
Right. He could have played a lot of other places, made $5 million. Yeah.
That is fascinating.
Well, I mean, you saw the way that game ended in the Rose Bowl. I think Bama fans actually they went through their stages of grief, and then once they put in the kid, they're like, "All right, now we're better."
It reminds me though that I mean, I just kind of realized, like, what were the Rams doing? It was a luxury pick, I get, but that
I agree.
What are you doing?
Yes. When we had this discussion the day after,
I get
what are they doing?
Right, no, I get what they said they were doing and why, but no, the further we get away from you, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, if I'm Stafford, I go, hey man, thanks for the phone call. You didn't give me the treatment like Kirk got.
Could have had that tied in.
Are we trying to win a Super Bowl this year?
They are. They have done a lot.
Could use peace. Is he going to help us? Can he line up at H-back for us?
No, but they did go get the greatest defensive end we've seen in the last 10 years.
The one thing does not need to preclude the other.
I know. I agree with you. I'm just saying. They did go out and get an absolute unblockable menace. I
hope Jared has an awesome year in Cleveland and becomes
he'll be
the
a folk
native
hero.
favorite son, and it
course.
goes in that direction because he
They're
could
a long
be
ways
there.
away on offense, though.
Yeah,
they already had a dominant defense. They already had a dominant
Couldn't
defense.
have gotten a running back with that.
I mean, come on. They got to be. Listen, they'll love him because he's one of theirs, but he's not going to be able to replace what he's having to replace because nobody could, unless you found a way to revive Reggie White. I mean, you don't have what you need. And I love Jared, but
Jared's got a shot to, now that he's the centerpiece instead of just one very good player on a team of a lot of very good players, he's got a shot to be the John Randall of Cleveland because he's boisterous enough and gregarious enough that he could become his own little cartoon character.
Oh, he'll be bold.
In the best of ways.
Yeah, he'll be bold. His production did drop off last year.
Yes, it did.
And in the second half of the season, it was really dropping off. So I'm kind of curious. Look, the league is amazing, and we know what a physical freak he is. He'll adjust to the adjustment, but the adjustment happened to him. And now I want to see, because he does have a good defense around him. So it won't be that they just double team him. Like, he's going to have a good defense around him, but he had a really good defense last year too. So he's going to have to make adjustments. It'll be good. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
80 pets were adopted from the Tallahassee Animal Service Center over the weekend as part of a statewide adoption blitz. The shelter offered free adoptions. A Monday Facebook post revealed 83 pets found new homes, 49 cats, 32 dogs, 1 bunny, and 1 guinea pig. The Tallahassee Animal Service Center was one of nearly 50 across the state participating in the Petco Love Florida Mega Pet Adoption event. It set a statewide goal of 2,000 adoptions in 3 days. The number of adoptions should be finalized later this week. Battling a $2.4 million deficit, Quitman City Council members voted to adopt a budget that includes potential cuts to the police department while increasing some fees for residents. There are currently 11 police officers on staff with several vacant positions. In order to balance the budget, the number of police officers would need to drop down to 8. Included in the new budget are increases to resident sanitation fees and an increase to the base rate for water and sewer. This will take effect on August 1st. This is Rachel Lene with Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Bright sunshine expected this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 91. Northwesterly winds around 5 miles per hour. Lows level off around 71 tonight, partly cloudy skies. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times tomorrow. Slight chance of thunderstorms. High temperatures reach up to 92. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, it's 89 degrees.
In the North Florida city of Tallahassee, a local business sits nestled in the Mahan Street corridor. As one of the oldest family businesses in their field, they have thousands of satisfied customers. Who is this 5-star retailer, you ask? Well, here's a hint. Everyone in town knows that one brother opens the store early, the other brother comes in late and stays late, and his son Cody is a rising star at the store. What business is this, you ask? Obviously, it's Kraft Nissan. Come experience the Kraft difference yourself.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. Nissan Versa is the perfect car for new drivers or kids in college. It's the least expensive new car in all of America at just $18,950 with a payment of $348 a month and no money down. Plus, Versa also has a 5-star safety rating with high-end safety features. And J.D. Power says Nissan is #1 for new car quality among mass market brands. And the best part, all new cars from Kraft Nissan come with our exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty. But seriously, who has a new car payment for less than $350 a month with no money down? It's only Kraft Nissan, and it's the Nissan Versa.
Good dental health starts at the beginning of life. For infants, wipe their gums with a clean, soft cloth after feeding, and make sure to schedule your child's initial dental visit before their first birthday. As your child grows, make sure they brush twice a day and floss before bed, limit sugary snacks and drinks, and schedule regular dental checkups. Focusing on healthy dental habits early helps children grow into healthy adults. Visit floridahealth.gov/dental health to learn more. This message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Health and the Florida Association.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
I think in the next couple of days, we're going to hear about another name or two signing for Florida State baseball. Be on the lookout for a signing of a shortstop. I know for a fact before we took our little break, they were after the kid from Tennessee. I think they whiffed on him.
Ooh.
So you could maybe turn your attention to the kid out of Indiana, Cooper Malmazian, I think is how you say his name. Anyhow, you can look him up. There's a couple other candidates that I'm aware of. But he's an all right player. It's not going to wow you. You're not going to be blown away, but he's a bigger kid. If we get the kid from Indiana, 6'2", 200 plus, hit over 300 last year. Not a ton of power, but they're trying this philosophy of signing a kid that's, his sophomore year, you get him for 2 years, that kind of a thing. So we'll see, but they've got to make some moves here.
Are they going to be, so last year, you correct me if I'm wrong, as the story went, they thought they were going to do better offensively.
Yeah, and they shifted to arms instead when they whiffed.
Is there a plan right now, if they had their druthers, about offense and lineup, defense as well, obviously, versus pitching? Because they need a lot of bit of both. Do they have, as their plan, like, all right, well, pitching is going to get X amount of the budget, and then we'll round out the lineup with the remainder? Or are they just trying to go BPAs?
Yeah, I think they're looking more offensively right now. They did get the big, obviously the Big East pitcher of the year in.
Yeah.
He'll be atop that rotation.
And Coy Clement.
Yeah. They have so many folks. They got a lot of work to do. It makes me nervous.
I thought when I came back from Ireland, there'd be like, oh, there's this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy. And been quiet week.
Yeah, the kid that I'm talking about at shortstop was a Big Ten all-freshman selection in 2025. He's he started 46 games, played in 55. We'll see. The power numbers aren't going to blow you away. Some of the other numbers are pretty good. I just don't like thinking that is somebody they had to pivot to because they didn't get the kid from Tennessee that they wanted, who I know that they were pursuing. They're missing too often.
Is the Miles thing just kind of fixed where it is? They got to see what happens in the draft in the middle of July.
They do. There is. I've said this repeatedly. I think there is a better than. I don't know what I probably would get in trouble putting a percentage on it. I think there's a better chance he comes back than many people realize. I'm not saying he will, because that is up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know.
It just takes one team.
It does. And I don't know what that number is going to look like from that team. If it's anywhere near $2 million, then, he's going to have to take that money and take it on down the road. But if it is in the neighborhood of 1.3 to 1.5, I think you've got a very good chance to get Miles back. They have put together a very tempting and competitive package together for Miles that is it's a little bit more nuanced. It's not just a bag. There's a lot of stuff there that make it enticing. And I think there's an element from the family and from Miles that they'd like a reason to say yes to Florida State.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to have to wait and see. Like you said, it just takes one. Look, nobody that you're going to sign in the portal would be a better get than Miles Bailey. So if Miles comes back, the rather lukewarm feel I have right now for what they're doing would be greatly altered, because that changes everything about who you are.
Yeah, because you got Stutzer and Miles and Clements.
And Delamolier.
Right.
Yeah.
They're littering your top probably 5 or 6 spots in the order with however you round it out. And that's really nice. You got some anchor points there.
Well, and I'll say this. I've been hard on the kid and in the hopes that he would turn it around. And he certainly had a good postseason. But, I'm sure Fisher's back and he'll play third. And he didn't hit at all this past year, but they certainly projected him to. And he had a much better freshman year offensively than he did sophomore year. So my guess is that you get a better version of him. The way that he finished the year has to be a shot in the arm. I'm not saying that he's going to be a star. I'm just saying he can't play as poorly as he did.
Yeah.
So you get a better version down at the bottom of the order with him. That's not the end of the world if he's hitting 8 or 9 for you.
Well, shoot, the postseason version of him, you hit him 5 or 6, and you're more than happy. Yeah.
Well, that's a small sample size. The larger sample size was that he sucked ass. So it's going to be that.
I didn't mean to offend you with that point.
I'm just saying. I mean, come on, man. I'm not trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. He was awful. But I would root for your version to happen. I would root for that.
Yeah, but don't suggest my version.
Well, come on, man. Don't try to give that kid an out. He was terrible.
See, there it is.
Well, he was.
Basically, I was testing. Okay, you've leveled off a little bit here. Nope, there's still rage in your heart. Rage.
It's not rage as much as it is, man. I watched the season. He was terrible. Useless ass home runs when it didn't matter. After
Poor cow. He's driving down the road. He's like, "Oh, he's taking it easy on me today."
I'm rooting
he's
for
like,
you.
"Hey, Tom, did you have to try one? Come on."
I'm rooting for you. But it's not believable.
I'm rooting for you, even though you sucked ass.
He did.
That's what that was.
Come back and wrap it up momentarily. A little probables action.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Let's get to it right out the gates. Let's nail some probables here and get everybody ready for their evening as they sit back and watch a little Major League Baseball.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Sorry, Tom, I got to lead with a day game that's not going your way.
Oh, what do you say?
Mets are currently getting their ass beat 10-3. Luckily, that is about to be over.
The season has jumped the shark.
Yeah, like I was thinking, you're a really rational, patient, calm, level-headed baseball fan because you get 162 games. You get that the season can be weird and ebbs and flows.
I'm in the top 2 or 3 percentile of all baseball fans in my patience level.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
And I thought, I bet you Tom's about done.
Yeah.
Because they're 34-44.
Now, the pitching is totally
and second time's been moved to the bullpen because he can't get anybody out.
Neither can David Peterson, and then Christian Scott got hurt. He's pitching this week. They got like 2 arms. They did stack a lot of potential options. They had 5 or 6 starters on opening day, another 2 or 3 in the minors. Somehow they're down to like 2 starters.
Yeah.
Crazy. Unfortunate.
Well, it's the 9th inning. The Cubs lead the Mets 10-3. Javier Assad started that game for the Cubs. Nolan McLean started for the Mets. Didn't go well. Red Sox lead the Rockies 3-0. Starters in that game, Rangers Suarez, Kyle Freeland, and they're warming up. Baltimore taking on the Angels, getting ready to get started here. Trey Gibson, Jose Soriano. Believe the last I saw Mike Trout was sitting at 18 home runs this year. What if he hits 40 home runs this year, man, or 36 home runs?
Just want to see him on a contender before it's all said and done.
Guardians, White Sox, Tanner Bibby, Eric Feedy. Ladies and gentlemen, the White Sox are in first place.
So they won last night. It was a hard luck loss for Parker Messick, who tossed 7 2/3 of 1-run ball.
That'll hurt your feelings to lose.
Fewest hits for the White Sox in a win in 2 years. They had 3 hits, won the ball game 2-1.
Pirates lost a game the other day in which they gave up a grand total of 2 hits. Out hit the team they played 8 hits to 2 and lost.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to win a division and you're going to come out of the doldrums, those are the types of results that you get.
Yeah, the White Sox are 41-37. Wow, pretty amazing. How quickly it all turns. Detroit is 34-45. They were like really good at one point. Not anymore. We've got Royals, Rays, Noah Cameron, Griffin Jacks, cheats at golf. Boy, the Rays are struggling. Mariners, Pirates tonight. Brian Woo against Braxton Ashcraft. A really good pitching matchup there. Yankees, Tigers, Ryan Weathers, Tariq Skubal. We'll see how long Skubal remains in Detroit. Philadelphia with the Nationals. Aaron Nola, Miles Mikolas. He's still around.
Still got a 6 ERA or a 6.50?
5.47.
Oh, he's had a good start.
Yeah.
There it is.
Got it together.
There's Ireland. Sorry about that.
By the way, with the Nats, kind of one of the more fun teams to watch in all of Major League Baseball. They're going to score. I bet the over on them every night. They're going to score. They're 41-39 because they can hit. They're a nuisance. Astros, Blue Jays, Mike Burrows, Trey Yasevich. Tom, you thought you escaped. You didn't. The second game, Cubs-Mets tonight.
Right. Yes, that's right. I'm sure done. Rained out on Monday. Yeah.
Shota Imanaga. I am not Japanese. Sean Manelli. Brewers, Reds, Shane Drohan and Rhett Lauder. We got the Dodgers and the Twins. Shohei Ohtani, good at baseball. Joe Ryan, pitching for the Twins. D-backs, Cardinals, Mitch Pratt. You can't say the name without thinking he's a brat. Matthew Liberatore. Braves, Padres, Martin Perez, JP Sears, A's, Giants, Gage Jump, and Tyler Mahal. And we'll close out the night I Take It to Beer, and Yuri Perez. I'll let you do it. Jacob DeGrom.
I Take It to Beer.
That is a look at those that shall reside on the bump. Adding the snaps helps.
It did. That was good.
Adding the snaps helps.
Did you make some money in the U.S. Open wagers?
Broke even. I did not have Wyndham for sure, and a couple of my guys just peed down their leg, including Russell Henley. However, I had a couple of guys that I really liked to finish top 20 that did, so I kind of evened it out.
I got invited to a majors pool this year. I won all 3.
Wow.
I've asked them, like, am I going to get kicked out?
No. You're on a roll.
I'm going for the Grand Slam next month. I made like $1,000 off of these guys.
It's great to be in pools that you win. Always.
I'm like, oh no. You know it's bad when you look at the leaderboard and say, oh no.
I won a basketball pool this past year, and the guy, it was the first time I was ever in his pool, and he's like, son of a bitch. Be well, everybody. It's been great to be back. We will be back again tomorrow on a Redemption Thursday, man. The weeks, they fly past. Peace.